Perfect. Alrighty. I'm gonna let my friend know also. Right. Well, I don't know if anybody's. Oh, let me refresh.
No, like I literally just hit the button. So.
Gotcha. Oh no, that's the old stream. There's like a current one. Oh right, I think it takes a second to.
Yeah, it's still on like minus 30 for like countdown.
Okay, I think. Yeah, that should be it. Okay, so I just heat up and I see your chat.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Alrighty.
Oh, and as a reminder, I gotta be done by, we'll call it 4:30? 4:45 at the latest.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, this is the second episode of our The Letter playthrough. A brief summary so far. We hate Isabel.
Yeah, she's a dumb bitch and she is the asshole.
Right. Ash is firmly on team fuck then kill.
Yes.
And then
we'll see how that develops, because maybe we could make an effort to not get him killed, but he's still kind of a dick. I think it's supposed to be the game's way of showing, like, oh, well, he's reserved because maybe his line of work, he's worried about getting too close to people.
Sure.
But, like, seriously, you don't have to be like, oh, because you're a scaredy cat, I wanted to do something nice for you. Just do something nice.
Right.
You don't have to have a caveat of, I'm an asshole sometimes, too.
Right. And then we attempted to kill Hannah, but we might have screwed it up.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend said that apparently now that, like, she can die. I think that choice we made can't. It was just, her dream. But from now on, we absolutely could have.
Okay.
Or can, so it's a possibility.
The only thing I really, really know about this game is that, like, a lot of these choices will spear, like, the rest of the game off in, like, wildly different directions.
Yeah.
So yeah, we attempted to kill Hannah, but it didn't work, so better luck next time. Luke is firmly on the kill boat.
Yeah.
And Zach is who we're saving no matter what. Yeah, protect at all costs.
Becca, I'm still like, I kind of liked, but then she got a little petty with the Ash thing.
Yeah, Becca's on the fence.
Probably more there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs to, like, chill the fuck out. I don't know what the full story is, so I assume they'll tell us, because otherwise, like, what is her fucking problem all of a sudden? Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We gonna load us a game.
Alrighty. Oh, it's very pixely again.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Oh, this is probably gonna be. Hang on. Do that. So I can 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 do that, and now it should be better.
Slightly. It looks good on the stream, but on my screen, but it's just the top half. It's probably fine. I don't know why it could just be Discord.
It could just be Discord. All right.
Here, I'll just make it a little smaller then. That makes it less pixely.
Okay.
I can make do.
All right. I'll kick us off. Oh wait, relationship.
I'm pretty sure it is you.
Didn't change. Okay.
No, because that was just her dream. There was no interactions.
Yeah, we're BFFs with Marianne. We're marching towards divorce with Luke.
That's the only hope. I mean, it won't even be divorce. It's just until he dies, and then you're free.
That's true. Well, until it'll be a race to see which one dies first. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but so he said it was next to the profiles. We want to try to find the choice tree. So go to profile.
Yeah, it's not here yet. I suspect it's probably towards the end of the game.
No, he was saying that it's there the whole time, so maybe we're just not. What's that little, like, leaf thing?
Oh, branching tree.
Oh! He said it was a butterfly! That's a leaf! I'm sorry, apparently my friend doesn't know the difference between a leaf and a butterfly.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Oh, there's already been some decisions that have impacted things.
We went down a fancy Meet with the professor. Okay, meet with the professor was the fancier route.
Okay, and the religion is probably just like, yep, go sort of thing. Let's go exercise it
And
or
then
something. Is what
over here was my instant noodle days.
are over. I wonder what the other one was.
I wonder if the other one was trying to refuse the bonus.
No. The other one was you saying, let's celebrate because Ash isn't here, which probably was going to be people being like, what the fuck, dude? He's our friend.
Right. And then
Whoa,
idea what the fuck.
What was the one down there?
No idea how to, because there's no question here. It just, we went in a direction.
Yeah, what was the book symbol before that leads into those paths?
It just says common route. Yeah.
Huh.
So then...
Weird, I wonder what that other one was. Yeah, and apparently we did choose very correctly by having her go to work after Rose died, because apparently if you just stay home, she's fucking dead. She gets killed because there's nobody there to help her.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure in that scene there was just a janitor who was there but then like left. And then the ghost lady showed up, but yeah, apparently we saved her life. So. And
then here's where we died a bunch of times because I suck at TTE events. This was the go to work, and either way.
Yeah, the stay home apparently.
Yeah.
Although it looks like there could have been other options.
There could have been branching from stay home, but there could have been branching from stay home, but like fuck it. We went to work because that was the safe and smart thing to do, and then
because I'm like we gotta take care of that.
And then I died a bunch of times anyway because I'm dumb.
Yeah. I think we were worried about us looking suspicious. Because I'm like, what if they're like, somehow this gets turned so they think you're a killer? And you're like, no, I'm just fucking cursed because I found this letter. Okay. Yeah. So let us continue.
Luke is already gone by the time I rise. There isn't a single hide nor hair of him to be found, and trying to call him on his mobile is a bust, as it only goes straight to his voicemail. That's twice in a row he's gone on me. And for him to disappear today of all days is every bit upsetting because of what's to come.
Wait, what is it?
The morning is once again filled with a whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I am much more refreshed as I took a break from my responsibilities.
What responsibilities?
I don't have a fucking idea. I haven't the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. Today is going to be a busy day, although unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once again from his duties.
Oh right, he was drunk Wednesday night, and then we had the dream, and now it's Friday.
Yeah, he got drunk and yelled at contractors, then he got drunk at dinner, and then the weird nightmare thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be back in time for the party. This is our house, after all. A grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wright Mansion. Every person of importance from Luxbourne is invited, and there will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there will be some people from the media, along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important, regardless of their status in society. Mary Ann and I discuss business and last-minute touches to the house before finalizing everything. Not that there is much change from our original plans. Bar any huge additions to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Well, I can't take all of the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright Mansion.
Why? Everyone thinks it's a haunted death trap.
It is a haunted death trap. People are missing. They're still missing, and Rose is dead.
Unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Oh, did he not like that she wanted to put kids in it?
Luke and I had a small tiff about making the second bedroom into a child's playroom, which I insisted is completely practical. In the end, he had to acquiesce. I didn't give him any choice in the matter.
He had to acquiesce.
Yeah, that's not even rich people grammar.
Nope.
I even bought this wonderful wooden crib from the antique store yesterday, including some toys. Just in case anyone brings their baby, of course.
Okay, see, when you say it like that, it sounds a little crazy. But they know people who, have kids and who are having a baby, so...
Yeah, come on over to the Haunted Death Trap Mansion. Bring the kids.
Yeah, bring your infant. What could go wrong?
We can put them in the open-top wooden cages. Easy for stabbing.
No escape.
Besides, we have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have guests who spend the night. If we absolutely have to, we often choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of our hotels instead, always at Luke's own insistence. And on the off chance that we actually let someone stay, the bedroom is in the opposite wing is still up to the task.
Oh no. we proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
Oh, 5 minutes in, we're back to the passive-aggressive Olympics. Great.
Right? You need to quit dragging her into the poor fucking Mary Ann is just trying to do a fucking job here.
No, I did not agree to him having a helipad.
All right, then.
Who gives a shit?
Well, do we have any other concerns? Anything we need to put on our agenda before the party commences?
No, I don't think so. Not unless Luke has anything else to say.
Jesus Christ.
Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his requests right away, considering the scope of his usual ones.
Around? No. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't.
No, he's not around.
She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After 7 long years, I'd already gotten used to him. I should be by now. Still not, apparently.
But don't you have a party?
I want nothing more than to complain, to whinge about how unfair this is. However, airing out one's dirty laundry is simply taboo among high society. To do so will make you a ripe target for the next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, the lot of them, really. Or most of them, at least. There are always good ones, like Rochelle Lee. But put your trust in the wrong person, and you'll find yourself eagerly picked apart.
Yep.
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting. He's having marital problems, and he's just trying to cheer him up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the marital problem is he's a scumbag, and also your husband kind of is a little bit too. So.
Yeah, the marital problem is here's someone who's worse than me. Don't you want to stay married? Perhaps I am being a bit too rash, a bit too hot-headed in divulging details.
I mean, definitely you shouldn't be dragging poor Marianne into this. She's already been clear that, like, I'm trying to stay professional.
Yeah,
this is a job. You are my employer.
Yeah, she's been a fucking working professional this entire time, and we're just...
Seek a therapist, because that is their job.
But I thought myself clever with the plan to dress it up as gossip. Mary Ann's raised brow makes me unsure whether she is interested or not.
She is not.
Although that does make things better if she has no interest and, therefore, has no hidden intent to utilize whatever I might say to her. What the fuck?
No.
Just because she doesn't care doesn't mean, oh, I get to unload all my bullshit on you. Like, you hired her to do contract work. Jesus Christ.
I know, it's like she's just here to fucking match your curtains with the fucking chairs and shit.
His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband, but it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark.
She is talking about them.
What do you think?
What do I
She's
think
just
of the
saying
matter,
it's
Mom?
not us.
No, what do you think of my hair? It feels so lifeless and dull today, and that's no good for a party.
That's the sarcasm face.
Oh, okay.
And I think I'm breaking out into zits.
Now that you mention it, there is something different.
Oh, no.
Breaks.
That's a trap. That's a trap.
There better not be something on my
Reload
face.
the save.
I wouldn't worry about that. You do look a little paler than usual, ma'am. I apologize if I'm crossing any lines here, but have you been resting properly?
No, I've been having nightmares.
You think
It's
I get
fine.
a bit tanned with how sunny it's been lately? Don't you worry.
Oh my god, you
I feel
British.
right as rain,
It's like
never better.
76 degrees. I'm burning up.
You got to do it in Celsius. It's like 20, 26?
I don't
23?
know Celsius at all.
Just make
Like,
up numbers. No one knows.
Zero's freezing, so like, and 100's
But
boiling.
back to the matter at hand.
But like, if I just make up a number, somebody who actually knows is gonna be like, "What the fuck? No! If it was that temperature, we'd all be dead or icicles." And you're like, "Well, I don't fucking know."
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...
No, we want her to be professional. Or no, hang on. We're Hannah and we hate Hannah. We want Marianne to tear our shit in half, right?
Oh, Marianne wouldn't be brutal about it. She'd probably be polite. She'd be like, if his wife's an alcoholic. Maybe his wife needs to fucking get help or something.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to
Real
sugarcoat
talk.
it.
Hey, we're more BFFs with
Okay.
Marianne.
Cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I ship it.
Yeah.
If
What's
Hannah
some fragile
is a little
thing
less
that's going to
annoying,
break down
I
at
say
the
fuck it.
slightest
Her
thing?
and Marianne can run away and be happy together and abandon this fucking house after Luz gets like viciously ripped apart. I hope
Yeah.
viciously.
She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee while I stare into my own cup of tea. The silence stretches on, and I almost believe that she will never answer my question. I suppose that I shouldn't blame her, putting her in a tight spot like this.
Again, after she said stop.
Her hesitation is understandable, though I loathe to admit it. She simply wants this whole thing to stay professional. Yeah, no shit, read the fucking room.
Yeah, she's like, look.
But then she speaks.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask.
Okay, she's not
This
dumb.
is
She's
about
like,
you,
listen.
Mr. Wright, isn't
Because
it?
you were asking about shit yesterday.
Yeah.
Or no, 3 days ago? 4?
It's my turn to hesitate now. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question. You asked for honesty, you fucking bin.
Yeah. I think she was still hoping that Marianne would buy that she was talking about her friends.
Yeah. And to get to
Yeah.
the heart of the matter, I suppose I'm not as clever as I'd like to think.
That or maybe Marianne's just more clever, so.
Or is it really that bad that an outsider can see our little marital trouble?
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Surely we aren't that obvious, are we? Kinda.
Exceptionally.
We've put up the act of a perfect couple for years, although it hadn't always been an act. Mary Ann is just more keen than the average person, of course.
Possibly true, but also it is still very obvious.
It is a necessity to her career, and she's been working so closely with us. Yes, that's it.
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you I don't want to meddle.
As I said last fucking time you asked. Lady, I am your interior designer. It is literally absolutely crossing a line.
If the
You're
troubled
asking
husband with
me.
a neglectful wife asked me for
Uh-oh.
my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else.
Yeah.
Sure.
Someone who
Marianne.
won't even give him the time of the day.
Yep.
Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself.
Maybe experiment a little. You
You're
never
not
know
supposed
where
to be a
happiness,
man or
you know,
a woman,
could be.
right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. That's just my 2 pence worth, of course.
So you're saying they should divorce?
What?
Or have a break. Calm down.
Hang on. How did we get to there from here?
Nothing as
Well, she said
drastic as
independent.
that.
No. Yeah, she's like, just like,
If
I don't
they're
know, stay in a
afraid that
hotel
it
for
might
a
lead
week.
to just that, then maybe that is what's meant to happen in the first place. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives. But it's just a short hiatus is all. Or, couples therapy?
Thank you, therapy.
She's
Jesus.
like,
I'm really not the best
supermarginal.
person to ask about relationships. So grain of salt and all that.
I'm rapidly elevating Marianne to Zach status.
Yeah, she's literally just like, I just came here because they wanted me to make their house look pretty. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And then all this shit is happening.
She's fucking
and
she's
I'm
fucking
just-
professional. She keeps
I want to
putting
get a
up
lawsuit or for defamation from this crazy rich alcoholic dude or something because his
Yeah.
wife was like, he's awful, right? I should just leave him. And I'm like, I don't get a fucking therapist. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. And she hates the shit out of Isabel for obvious reasons, so
Okay, because Isabel was like an absolute fucking idiot asshole. When you found the cat, not knowing if it was a boy or girl cat, that's an easy mistake. Okay, but then I'm surprised you have a cat, and she's like, "What the fuck does that mean? Why would you say that?" She's like, "No, you don't seem like the kind of person who would like have a cat." And it's like, what?
yeah, also your cat is a demon that gives bad luck? Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like he's black, and that's like a bad luck thing, right? Because black cats are evil, and you're like. I don't know. It's a fucking. I like him because he's got cute little toe beans. What the fuck is this?
She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. Tea Earl Grey hot. There is a calm despite the nature of what has just been discussed.
Marianne's like, I said my thing. Hopefully she'll leave me alone now.
To say that her words make me start to think is an understatement. To say that I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others have had shorter marriages, yes, but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones as well. My own parents celebrated their choral anniversary before they passed away.
What the fuck is that?
But
is that like after platinum?
I don't know. But 7 years? 7 years is a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It isn't a whole lot of time to see what and where our relationship can bring us. And at the same time, 7 years. Well, it hasn't been entirely made up of unhappy years, has it?
Oh, Coral is apparently the 35th anniversary?
That's an arbitrary number, sure.
Yeah. Usually it's like the 10s. There's like the first one, which is paper, and then like...
Yeah.
That's... 35 isn't that long?
It won't last forever. It's not supposed to, anyway. I just dread the thought that it might last for a very long time. I dread the thought that these small spats, these little disagreements will turn into all-out resentment. The idea that we will grow to hate each other with every fiber of our being scares me. I can't even pinpoint the exact moment when our blissful union turned sour. When did he start to seek other women, lacking any ulterior motives? When did we start to cooperate only to suit our materialistic greed and attention-seeking ways? Money and success, fame and glamour, are those the only reasons we still stay together? There is a cough before Marianne clears her throat. I must have been quiet for so long, and I move to apologize when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back down or not.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
Yes, good. Bail, Marianne. Get the fuck
You
out.
want to attend the party?
No, bail.
It's trouble.
Fucking flee.
Oh, you really must, Marianne.
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and I'm ever so excited to meet you.
He's like, I'm trying to politely exit this conversation. Please let me escape.
You need to say hello to the Lees, at least.
Fuck the Lees. I need to go. You're crazy.
No,
If it wasn't
absolutely
for them,
keep
I'd
that
never even
guy
heard of
away from
you.
me. He's gross.
Yeah.
And his wife's pregnant and stressy, I'm sure. And the last thing she needs to see is her husband being gross
Yeah.
over a pretty fucking Scottish interior designer and go crazy, possibly, and get mad at her for just being there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yo.
So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive, because believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
I'm feeling a little personally attacked right now. The scene outside the parlor is a great, organized mess. Aside from our own household help, we hired the service of the temp agency, which provides staff for Wright Enterprises in the hospitality sector. Even our very skilled staff cannot undertake a party of this size on their own. Waiters, busboys, hostesses, and their staff captains move about in droves, carrying crockery and serveware good for several dozen people and then some. Chefs and bartenders tail after Johannes, looking like scared little children as he escorts them through the kitchen and into the wine cellar. To peruse the stocks to select what can be served at the party and what can be used for cooking.
Snails! We have a lot to do, and I believe we did not hire snails.
Oh shit.
Snails are for the dishes.
Fuck.
I love Johannes. Oh, he is also protected at all costs.
Yeah. A string quartet readies up to play for the evening, tuning their instruments as they fill the air with idle chatter. Floral decor where thousands fill vases, wreaths, and baskets, while petals are scattered along the driveway up front. An ice sculpture of a reindeer is brought in carefully by a pair. It is followed by a simple cake, just a
simple
5-tier,
cake.
white chiffon, one with white chocolate mousse, fresh berries, and a light dusting of edible gold leaf. But despite the fact that I told Marianne how I will attend to all of this, I find myself unable to focus or care for any of it.
Dude, that cake looks gorgeous, though. So, like, just fucking reach your hand, take a handful of cake, and then just go hide somewhere. Fuck
like,
it.
I'm morally opposed to anything with gold leaf on it because it's literally just paying, like, you know, hundreds of bucks for just, like, this bitter crap. But, like...
It's not even just bitter, it's metal. Like,
yeah.
you can technically consume it, but fucking why? Just get some, like, fucking gold deco sugar.
Yeah.
It's pretty, and it's sweet, and save yourself the money.
Yeah.
Jesus, I don't get the gold leaf either.
Yeah.
Not for eating.
I still have our discussion running in my mind, and looking at all of this, I only see Luke everywhere. These are all the grand things that Luke wanted to have for the party. I had wanted a small, elegant, and simple gathering, with only a select few invited, namely the people who I would actually trust to enter my home. I did not want any bloody politicians or paparazzi in here, no matter how used I am to catering them.
At least be here for your party. Damn it, Luke.
Oh.
The entire thing screamed Luke Wright. But I can't help but add another question to my growing list of queries. When did I lose myself? It's always about him nowadays, isn't it? What about Hannah Wright? What about Hannah Evans? I used to be my own woman, who made her own name, her own career, and her own decisions.
What was even her job?
I think she was, like a CEO or something, because they talk about, like, the Evans Corporation and Wright Enterprises.
Yeah, but, like, it could be anything.
Sure.
So that's why I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But it's not super important, I'm sure.
Sure, I was already the social butterfly that I still am today, but it wasn't all empty, shallow gossip and sitting pretty. I was also lauded for my knowledge and talent. Finance manager wasn't just handed to me, just because my father owned the company. I had insisted that I start at the bottom, so I could work my way to the top and prove myself. And I did. I worked numbers, managed budgets, money, and accounts, analyzing the competition and market trends. There were the calculation of financial risk, cost reduction opportunities, auditor liaison and public relations, supervision of staff, and, well, I generally had a huge slew of responsibilities. Admittedly, I was already quite the attention seeker even back then, having dedicated most of my youth craving for my parents' approval. Failing that, I turned to others, looked for praise from anyone who would give it, however fleeting it all was. And Luke, oh Luke, the way he looked at me, the way he watched me and took a genuine interest. He had me disgustingly obsessed since day one, hasn't he? He saw me for me, Hannah Evans, with both my faults and my achievements. The man didn't treat me like some damsel in distress or some prize to be won. I remember the nights before we were married, where we talked about everything and anything. From big things like business, society, and philosophy, to little things, such as what we had for breakfast, or whether we liked cats or dogs more. We both prefer dogs. Nowadays, I'm just Luke Wright's wife. It's mostly my fault, isn't it?
No, I doubt it. It sounds like his alcohol problem is what just started to make him fucking awful.
I think it's a combination of, like, rich people society is bullshit and also alcoholic husband.
Yeah.
They told me that husbands preferred wives who are docile and subordinate. A woman who will always be there for him, yet would never outshine him in all aspects except beauty.
Oh, that's gross.
A wife needs to be at home and attend to his needs, to have children and to take care of them in his absence. They said I have no business working anymore after I was married.
What?
I can blame society, but I listened.
That's fair.
Before I can fall further into this introspective pit of self-loathing, someone calls for my attention.
Somebody please just give her a handful of cake. She needs it.
Are we coming around on Hannah?
Fuck. Yeah. I'm not gonna let that happen with Luke, though. Luke dies.
No, Luke dies. Luke 100% dies.
I want some shit to get crazy and terrible and, like, bloody, okay? Fucking... It's a horror game, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And Luke?
Running a bit late, I'm afraid.
Late for his own party. That man, I swear. He's probably looking to make a dramatic entrance, knowing him. Open the doors, then. We mustn't tarry.
Cars line up the driveway, peppering the front of the mansion with vehicles of every kind. Grand Tours, supercars, and even the odd high-end muscle car or two. Convertibles, grand saloons, and other luxury cars can be seen being parked by valets. A handful of cabs drive off, possibly for those who thought it's too troublesome to bring their own cars. There are at least 2 different media vans as well. They're all here for what may be considered the biggest event of the year for Luxborn. So far. Who knows what we'll plan for the winter holidays?
Welcome.
Isn't it fucking
Welcome,
October?
everyone.
Right?
Please make
Well-
yourselves at home.
No, I think October's still fall. Winter doesn't start until November.
Right, but if we're saying the biggest event until the winter holidays, that's like 2 months.
I know. Well, what else are they going to be covering? But yes, this
Sure.
is supposed to be a horror game. It's just, I think we're only in chapter 2 of 7.
Yeah.
So I think they're easing us in and giving us reason to like care about characters before just going, what you do could kill them, so we actually give a shit.
No.
Hopefully, otherwise we're like, nah, fuck
No,
it, they're dead.
it's super good. The more the
Yes.
more this goes on, the more I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, like that's what I liked about Until Dawn. They like
Mhm.
built up stories for characters, so you got to know them, and then they were thrust into the danger.
Yeah.
Whereas the sequel to that, well, spiritual sequel, it's the same company, but not the like
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
story. Man and Medan, I was not invested like at all.
Mhm.
They told you very little about the character, so you didn't care.
Some of the
So,
guests
yeah.
idle, enjoying the warm, if not strange, sunshine we are experiencing before gloomy skies inevitably return. They greet acquaintances and friends with warm smiles, others less so. From where I stand, I can see the hierarchy of power, the ties that bind these individuals, here whether through convenience or necessity. However, there are also few who are not here to further cement their current place in high society. Such as that young man with his oriental hair, ignorant of the looks
Hair.
he receives.
Oriental air.
Oh.
Yeah, with that fucking fur coat and chain
yeah.
wallet.
Ignorant of the looks he receives from women and men alike.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Is that what he named his car?
Or that rose-haired woman talking on her phone, while she looks unsure of why she is here exactly.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
I see Zachary the photographer as well. He talks to a few of the other media crew with an air of familiarity.
I was just here a few days ago, yeah. And the inside is huge, but the staff are pretty helpful if you get lost.
I had invited Father Norman too. It's the least I can do after he blessed the mansion on my request, aside from my small donation to the church, of course. But the poor man had taken ill and went through a nervous breakdown of some sort the other day. Oh, fuck.
Well, that is quite a coincidence.
And then there are people like the Chief Inspector.
Yeah,
This is a
guy.
horror game. The horrors are the people you have to deal with. At present, yes, but that's because it's Hannah's chapter.
Yeah, this guy also is just trash. I hope he dies.
This guy is just
ugh.
straight garbage. Yeah.
He
People
just
who I
talks
can
like
never
that
be
guy.
too sure about. People who stand on the border between being suspicious and being trustworthy.
No, this guy is absolutely untrustworthy.
Yeah, no, just get him away. Keep him away.
Husband still missing, I see.
Oh,
I should be
stop
staying with some of
talking
your
like
darling
that.
Rochelle, Leash. The doctors again.
She told me she'll just be in the gardens. Bet she's lying and that she's somewhere around mingling, gossiping with the other ladies. It's no offense, but that seems to be all you ladies do at these parties.
Hey, dude, I got this letter. You want to see it?
And aren't
Right.
you
And
gossiping
also,
right now?
saying no offense before you say something offensive doesn't make it not offensive.
Yeah.
It's just you're admitting that you know it's offensive. You're
Yes,
still an
well,
asshole.
What about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
Oh,
Don't
why
tell
does
me,
he
let me
say
guess.
everything like
He's
that?
finally drunken himself to death and not wanting a scandal. You've hidden his body. I was wanting to give this housewarming gift to him personally, too. It's a plate that holds a wine glass so he can stop killing himself with liquid lunches.
Jesus Christ.
Looks like it's too late for that.
Nothing like that. Besides, this is a hardly polite conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I absolutely agree. What the fuck?
Oh, relax. I'm just trying to be cheeky to lighten the mood.
No, fuck you. Get the
Yeah,
fuck
I
out.
want Luke dead. The man doesn't serve dodgy plonk like the others when I visit, and he pays his respects well enough.
Pays his
I
respects.
could
What are
use
you,
a
the
glass of wine
Godfather?
or 3, actually. Michelle's been in a horrid mood. Threw her stilettos at me the other day and almost took an eye out.
Which I'm sure you
You're being
didn't
an asshole.
deserve.
Yeah, I
Not
couldn't
sure
have done
if
anything.
this is how it usually goes, but I blame the pregnancy.
Yeah, that's fucking it. There you go. You nailed
Yeah,
it.
and that's exactly why, sir.
Those weird
Yep,
Prego
especially
hormones
pregnant.
made her fucking mad at you.
I wouldn't know.
It's definitely
would
not because
I?
you're an asshole.
Still no plans for a baby?
Jesus Christ.
I
Awkward,
guess
not the
that's for the
time.
best. If it's this bad now, I can't even imagine how bad it'll be when that little baby bump becomes huge.
What the fuck?
Whoa, calm the fuck down.
Have I mentioned how I don't trust him no matter how hard I try to do so?
Quit trying to. Just accept that he's not trustworthy. He's
Yeah.
trash.
At least he brought a gift, I suppose.
Why
He
don't you
brought
just
a
go
plate that
inside
holds
and
a
have some
wine glass.
Wiley?
It's not
Yeah,
your
he
alcoholic husband.
picked it up at the fucking thrift store.
Think I will,
Yeah.
thanks.
Greetings such as these carry on as the guests continue to trickle in. Whether we have short conversations or merely shake hands and nod heads, I make sure to attend and welcome each of them. As the first hour passes us by, that's kind of a sentence. As the first hour passes us by, the rest of the stragglers and I adjourn to the ballroom. Any latecomers will have the attention of the porter instead. I have other duties to attend to now. Can you choose to let him die later? Yeah.
Hoping. I'm so hoping.
Yeah, we're trying. Hosting parties is always the same old song and dance, no matter how big or small it is. You make sure your guests are well fed, have good company, and have them generally enjoy themselves. So when my opening remarks are done, when the band has started to play and the guests have started eating, I find myself wandering around aimlessly until I am pulled aside. For a while, I stay with a small group and entertain them before excusing myself. And when they're not around anymore, when they're not anymore watching me, I end up watching them. When they don't listen, I do. A local banker is having trouble with his daughter. He wishes to marry her off, but she wants nothing more than to make music. One of our hotel managers worry about the stolen belongings of one of his patrons, a failing in security which should be brought up to the high authorities soon.
Probably good.
Our mayor, well, his cat died.
Aw, poor cat.
Then there is that rose-haired woman once again. It is hard not to notice her with her distinctive locks.
Her pink hair.
She also lacks the grace that the other ladies have, though that does not make her any less beautiful. Her stance and the air she exudes, instead, are strong, and they make her stand out despite her casual attire. Many men have already given her their attention, though each invitation to dance has been turned down. I approach, intrigued, although it is no great mystery what occupies her own attention, with the glances she keeps sending towards the boy with the oriental hair. See, this time it's fucking hair!
What? Like, what is so oriental about his hair? Because it's dark?
I have no idea.
Like, what?
She remains unaware, though, even as I stand beside her, pretending that I am there for a drink.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a
What?
nice dress if I knew.
Have you seen the house it's for? It's not a house, it's an estate. It's a mansion.
Yeah, are you high?
What?
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenu, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
But he needs to fucking wear clothes like he's an adult and not a 13-year-old boy worried his wallet's gonna fall out when he's skateboarding.
The boy comes over, but I do nothing to speak any softer. He merely passes by, and it is a wonder he doesn't hear what I say.
Oh, I'm sure he heard.
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down his offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend, then? Because that would explain those rejections.
Hannah, you sassy bitch.
In
This is
all
an odd
my
angle.
this is weird. In all my life, I have never seen a face grow red so fast. The shade of her hair did not help as well.
No.
This is the most pink I've seen on a person, really.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter,
It's a plan.
currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property.
Yeah, we have the ghost for that.
Yeah, there's already going to be enough
Into a
murders.
room and suddenly find a body there.
Jesus, we're fucking...
Foreshadowing?
Yeah, it's less
a little
foreshadowing
heavy-handed,
and more
but
like
not.
hitting you in the face with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, like...
I waver as I feel the burning of someone's stares. It is chilling and, though I am used to enduring the gaze of others, this one makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
The guest is... Oh my god, I was making a joke, but fuck.
Fuck. Fuck. My attention is pulled from the girl and I see a woman staring. Dark-haired and dirty, she looks more like a beggar than a guest, and I have half the mind to call the security at her when her mouth breaks out into a grin.
She's coated in blood!
All I hear is her laughing, taunting. Her stare makes my blood run cold. She looks at me like I am nothing but a pig to slaughter for her amusement.
Wow,
It makes
that's
my
a very
husband
distinct...
shake and it makes my hand shake and I nearly drop my drink. But then in a blink she's gone and the buzz of the party returns.
I'll keep that in mind, but... Are you alright?
Nope. Mm-mm.
I'm really
Yes,
not, but like,
sorry.
everybody's apparently just like,
thought I saw
trick of the
something
light? What the
strange.
fuck?
It must be the trick of the light.
No, like
Anyway,
seeing like a light
alright.
flicker or
As
like
you
a
must
reflection in a
already
window
know.
briefly that's just like kind of like a glint.
Yeah.
That's a trick of the light.
Yeah.
A fucking person that you see or long enough to like she's standing there and smiles and you hear her laugh. That's not a trick of the light. That's sound. That's audio. You. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a trick of the light if you
Why
see it on like a
did
glass reflection, not standing like 2 feet from you. You just fucking Christ.
Right? Like why
Rebecca
was she
Gales.
just?
Scales, scales,
She's kinda-
scales.
The name is familiar, like a fond memory.
What?
I recall a kind lady, a private tutor who treated me like her own daughter when I was young. She'd even bring me food when there was no need to do so. Usually stovies, which I honestly hadn't been too keen about, though I ate them nonetheless because she brought them for me.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way.
Oh.
But yeah, that's me. Little Becky. We met once before.
I imagine it wasn't good.
Yes,
By
oh, I remember you. You were
Rebecca's
the
bitch
cutest
tone.
little thing with glasses. And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with a A.
Perhaps Ash?
Yeah.
What was it again? Aaron.
It was Ash.
Alan. Adele. Albert.
Ad-
Alexander. Andrew?
Ashton.
The more I list off names, the more red and the more quiet Becky gets.
Hannah, are you oblivious or are you just being a bitch and not realizing it? 'Cause she's like, she literally.
I'm starting to feel like we're tilting back towards kill Hannah.
I think she might actually just not realize it, and I'm sure when she does, she'll be like, oh, I'm sorry.
She starts to look a bit miserable as her body language shows discomfort and stiffness. Perhaps I have triggered a horrid childhood memory. Surely, I hadn't been mean when she visited with her mother. I don't quite remember all of it.
Ashton! Ash! That man is that boy! The same one. Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
Yeah, but he
You don't
opens
really
his
need
mouth
to
and he
announce
says
it to
dumb
everyone
shit.
within earshot, you know? Keep it down.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
Yeah, she is very upset, though.
And a tad bit sad.
This is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Good pivot.
Please, Anna's fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky.
Hannah.
Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh, bullshit.
And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
It doesn't necessarily have to mean that person.
Sounds like they're just for fairy tales.
Like, it could be career path or goals or, like, a combination. Jesus,
Yeah.
Hannah, this is your problem.
And they
and
are,
why you're so
sorta.
miserable right now with your marriage. Just
I
saying,
don't
just
think you
saying.
can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best.
That's
If
fair.
you love them, you have to fight for it, right?
Says the person who just awkwardly stares.
And,
You're
like,
just
is
going
pissy
to
at
sit
Ash.
there and hope
Yeah.
that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it.
Can we, like, tape record this and play this to you later?
Yeah, you're gonna need this, Hannah. Remember.
No, not Hannah. This is for fucking Rebecca.
Oh, yeah, also Becky. It's
Yeah.
like, don't be a bitch at him. That's not working. That's just, you need to conversate. You need to communicate.
Yeah.
If that's the thing, like, don't just glare at him and be a bitch. And
Yeah.
he doesn't understand why. Or,
What do I know?
Not much, apparently.
right.
There is a grimace, although she starts to relax around my presence. How long has it been since we met as children? Certainly a long time. She was tiny back then, if I recall correctly.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
the
children
daughter
usually
of the two
are.
greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about. Have you told him how you feel?
Yeah, thank you.
It's been what? 20 years?
17, actually. But no, not yet. He can be a bit dense.
Yeah,
But
it's
you're-
really hard for him to understand when you don't
Him.
fucking tell him anything. Jesus.
Yeah, how does he know? Like, you have to say something.
Yeah.
Or just not and accept that he's not gonna magically just know how you feel. He's
I
not
was hoping
psychic!
that maybe he'd notice on his own and...
Well, that won't do.
Yeah, you dumb
What if you two become husband and wife? He's not to be dense when he's sworn himself to another person. Why, you might just as well consider leaving before the day's even begun.
If that happens, I'll have to give him a good ear bashing, won't I?
How do they end up married if he doesn't realize that she likes him? That's not how just normal people do that. They don't just get married just
Whatever
cause.
anyone ends up with, it's not going to be a perfect relationship anyway.
No, but you have to communicate things like
There's going
feelings.
to be things you'll love and things you'll hate about the other person. We're just humans. It's funny. Here I am, trying to give you advice when you did the very same thing back then. I remember you giving me a makeover when we were still kids. And you were the first I told anyone about my... crush.
I do remember now that she mentions it. Did I give her that yellow summer dress or the pink blouse and petticoat?
Oh, that's cute.
She must have kept some of what I said in mind.
Not nearly enough.
Yeah. It feels
She's like, I was
ridiculous.
just hoping he'd figure it out. Fucking, so you haven't said anything? No, I've just been mad when he didn't notice. So he just thinks you're mean to him? Yes? So isn't it obvious?
It feels ridiculous remembering all of that years later, talking about boys and how they go crazy for pretty girls, as if it's some gospel every woman should adhere to. It was so easy to say such things then, with me not knowing any better. Though, looking at her now, she must have kept some of what I said in mind. Perhaps I did say something good at that time, enough for her to take it to heart.
Clearly not.
But all that didn't matter in the moment as I mull over what she just said in my head. What Becky told me is very different from what Marianne told me.
Yeah.
There is
Well,
no time to ponder over that, however, as a hush descends upon the once lively crowd. The music of strings and the chatter slows to a grinding halt as the doors from the foyer opens.
Look.
It's Luke. The last of the latecomers should have arrived moments ago. And anyone else this late would simply be too embarrassed to show their face. So this can only be one person, or rather one man.
Yo.
There is only one man who is audacious enough to arrive at his own party so late.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the
And
party.
there's some wine.
I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
Oh, this is gonna be uncomfortable.
Unlike I, who was raised in the spotlight and simply grew used to its presence, he sought it out every chance he could, even when there was no spotlight that shone. And I'll never put it against him when he smiles like that. He did so quite brilliantly under the scrutiny when he channels his showmanship. You can tell by the way people's eyes light up as he speaks. How they listen, enraptured, even if all he's doing is a simple greeting. A little wave of his hands here, a smile there, and a bit of swagger. I always tell him that, if he is not to be a businessman, he'll do well as an entertainer. I love this side of him, especially when he looks at me, and he beckons me over to humbly share his space.
Humbly.
Yeah. Not a single second is wasted as I excuse myself from Becky's side, and I make my way to Luke's.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
Like 2 hours of it, since I'm very late.
There's a round of applause, cheers, and even some hoots. Guests approach us left and right to shake Luke's hand and greet him personally, praises on their lips.
All these people are butt kissers.
It is because of this that I do not see her. I do not see her until she is dangerously close, with fury in her eyes, and she's already spitting venom. Johannes restrains her, taking care not to unnecessarily harm the pregnant woman. But that does little to deter her rage, and the man has no choice but to let her go, lest an unborn child is hurt. Although it might be too late for that, as I see an emptied glass of wine in her hand.
What the fuck?
How much has she imbibed in?
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle? Perhaps you need to sit down and...
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you!
What's a
I'm
munter?
talking to this scumbag over here!
She's fluent in both rich person talk and angry Irish drunk.
Right?
You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile!
She interrupts me, jabbing her finger in my direction before she rounds on Luke. Even as whispers and murmurs break out among the guests, all I can focus on is the heat of the moment. Obviously intoxicated, judging by the smell of alcohol on her breath. I'm not ticked off about this little display of hers, at least not yet. But I am absolutely pissed by the fact that she'd endanger her own baby by drinking. There is a considerable amount of restraint and grace that I must exercise while I wait for her tantrum to subside. I keep a patient, if tight, smile on my face. Luke's expression, on the other hand, is indecipherable.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle.
Jesus, calm down, dude.
Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Dude.
Her BFF Hannah?
Yeah!
I did.
Yeah.
And I told you with great emphasis not to. Now we have a drunk, hormonal, pregnant woman causing a stir.
Oh, so now this is also your wife's fault, even though you're an asshole, and this is probably something that you had coming.
What is even going on?
I don't know. What did you do to her?
I am just about to ask the exact same thing.
I don't know. But Rochelle, do calm down before you hurt yourself. I can't understand a word you're saying.
Where is that husband of yours? Lee! Collect your wife right now!
Fuck.
What the fuck, Luke?
Jesus Christ, Luke.
Don't you fucking talk like I'm not here and you're not responsible, you ass!
Oh shit, Luke's the father, isn't he?
Oh, maybe?
You told me that I should wait for you in the gardens!
Oh no.
Fuck.
Excuse me. What is this nonsense you're going on about?
Crazy talk. That's all it is. Just completely and utterly mad. Has anyone seen the Chief Inspector?
I am pregnant
Fuck.
with your little bastard. You promised me you'll take responsibility.
We're going for blackout on the scumbag bingo card with Luke, aren't we?
Right? Jeez, there's just like, if he's gonna be the worst, he's going to be the worst. Just tick off the rich asshole fucking checklist.
Shit.
God damn it, Luke. I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me.
What?
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Of course he's gonna say no.
Slander woman! Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me. I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours.
Well, I think it's safe to say they're not gonna be friends after this.
So, this is a tire fire.
Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby?
She does!
Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
What the fuck?
Possibly, I don't know.
Hang on. Who's the bigger scumbag here?
I mean, definitely Luke, but Rochelle is definitely being shitty, being drunk, and doing this.
Like Rochelle and Luke got together, and Rochelle is just like, yeah, you'll divorce Hannah because Hannah doesn't want kids. Also, I'm BFFs with Hannah, and we're gonna, Rochelle would know.
Hannah said that they were friends, but maybe it could be her thinking that, and Rochelle just tolerating or being, cordial, and just writing her off because she doesn't give a shit and she likes Luke, or assumes they're gonna go be a family. So she's like, I'll play nice until he leaves her. Because Hannah seems like she just wants friends and kind of reads into people being nice as them wanting to be her friend.
That could be.
She seems really lonely.
We could be on the timeline of just like every rich scumbag is a rich scumbag.
She's perfectly capable of hiring a team of people to take care of the baby. That's true.
Yeah.
She has enough money. If she really needed to, she could get like 8 nannies.
Yeah.
But she seems to be interested in kids.
Yeah.
She wanted to make that kid playroom because Rochelle was pregnant.
Yeah.
So this is really uncomfortable.
It is now that Johannes returns with security, along with a concerned-looking Officer Lee. They surround her and move to escort the hysterical woman. Judging by his pale face, he has heard the whole thing, and I feel nothing but pity for the man.
No, he seems like a douchebag, but like...
Not that I believe Rochelle. Luke will never... He will never go so far as to sleep with another woman, right?
I'm so sorry for her behaviour. She's been under a lot of stress. And the alcohol. Talking nonsense, that's all it is. You're not allowed to drink because of the baby, Shelley. What are you thinking?
Nothing to see here, people. Move along.
Johannes in charge.
Just a drunk pregnant lady talking about, an affair.
Yeah, just drunk pregnant lady accusing the guy who owns the house.
Oh, this is quite a party.
Is there really nothing here but the ramblings of a drunk? Of course they're nothing but ramblings of a drunk. She's just jealous. Jealous of this wonderful marriage, this happily ever after that I have with my prince.
Take that trollop out of here immediately, and see to it that she isn't allowed here or anywhere we hold any authority in Luxborn.
Fuck. She going on the blacklist.
Yep.
To be banned from anything with the right name on it is basically social suicide. I don't think
she gives a shit.
We practically own half of Luxborn, and there isn't a single establishment of repute that isn't under our patronage, one way or another. This is mercy. I can do much worse to her.
Whoa.
At least this way, she can just move out of the city and never ever return.
Man, she is pissed.
I have stayed my hand in the face of her grievous fault, her bold-faced lies when she deserves so much more. I can take away her business, have her factory shut down. It is too easy to ruin her life until she is just nothing.
Okay, Hannah, calm down.
And it is all so tempting. I can only see red. The tension is thick in the air, and the silence that embraces the room is nearly deafening. There are worried and almost fearful glances from some of the guests, yet at the same time, I can still hear them whispering.
Of course, this is like fucking gossip gold.
But as long as they hold their tongues and don't interfere, none of those matter to me. Especially when my darling looks at me with such a shine in his eyes.
What the fuck?
it almost seems as if he's proud of what I have done, and that spurs me on more than anything.
Everyone, please go back to enjoying the party. Don't let that mess of a woman ruin your night.
You heard her! Strike up the band, maestro, and let us dance like fireflies in the night!
You're an absolute asshole. And I feel like Hannah's way too quick to defend Luke. I think she just doesn't want it to be true, so she's just doubling down on the, no, he loves me and we're happy and this is a perfect marriage.
Yeah,
and Rochelle's just crazy and bitter.
We're hard in
instead
denial
of Luke
right
being
now.
shitty and me having to come to terms with that and figure out what I need to do for myself.
Yeah.
Like,
it takes a bit for the crowd to stir again in the face of all that. But like most problems of the elite, it is brushed under the rug and forgotten in favor of merriment. He offers his hand to me with a small smirk and a bow.
Well, that was a mess, wasn't it? And you handled it magnificently.
It happens. We are very important people, are we not?
Milady, would you like to dance?
With pleasure, my prince.
Ugh.
No one is going to get in between me and my darling husband. Not Rochelle or any other rich, snooty scrubber. Not some common whore and ambitious maid. No one is going to get near him in that manner, not while I'm around. And if I have anything to say about it, no one is going to get near him at all. I am having conflicting feelings about Hannah. I'm worried. Alright, my theory at this point is that she's not that bad of a person.
No, it just sounds like
the
she needs to be better.
The relationship with Luke has basically, like, twisted her.
Yeah, and she's allowed herself to just, everything is supposed to be about him being happy and being the perfect wife, and she was told that was essentially give up everything you like and it makes you you and just be seen and not heard and quiet and subservient. That's terrible.
Yeah.
But okay, but like she said, they told me to do that and I listened. So it's not like she's a completely innocent person, but maybe she can find a way to not be shitty, to accept that Luke is not perfect. He's shitty and she needs to do what she needs to be happy for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes just being your own person and not falling for his bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. So, yeah, but fuck Luke. Doubling down on that. Just fuck him.
100%.
Yeah. The day after proved to be a difficult task. My darling prince is a man of many connections, a man of the people. He is always talking to one person or another. And I am always left alone, unable to stay at his side at all times. It is frustrating, but I have to be understanding. Besides, I don't see why he can't just stay home. Because he's got responsibility?
Because he's business boy?
I think she should be able to just go and have a job again. Like, what the fuck? Or a hobby, Jesus. The least I can do is to make sure I have his time while he's here, which in and of itself isn't as easy as it sounds. Not with that bloody valet of his tailing him around.
Johans, where's my tie? I can't find it anywhere.
God, this guy is such a helpless baby.
Have you looked around your neck? It should be there if it's not on your clothes horse, sir.
Are you serious? It isn't often that I'm awake this early, but at least early enough to find my darling prince preparing for the day, with his valet attending to him. It is an old-fashioned way to go about the morning. He's able to dress himself, after all. But he says that it really makes the day easier for him to have someone else do this tedious task, albeit with a grimace. He has Johans dress him.
Jesus.
Like he is literally an infant. Though if that manservant of his dislikes the duty so much, I'll gladly do it in his stead.
I've got it, my prince. Come here.
Well, someone's up and at them especially early this morning, huh? Here I thought you'd be knackered by all the dancing we did last night at the party. And after that, well.
Gross. A saucy little wink and a smile is what he offers me as they draw close to fix his tie. Tie it too tight and choke him to death. Johans will help you bury the body. And when the valet reaches out with his perfume, I quickly take it and shoo him aside. This close, his scent fills me with the smell of white flowers, cocoa, cardamom, and almonds. That's a
That's
Weird.
a dessert.
Yeah. It is intoxicating. And the sight of the two of us in the vanity mirror is picturesque and perfect. Can I help it if I feel a bit resentful that another person gets to do this for Luke every morning when I could have done it myself? No, I can't.
You're dismissed, Shroken. I have this. Go on then. You'll be summoned if you're needed.
Don't be mean to Johan just because Luke is a fucking useless man baby.
Yeah.
There is a curious look, furrowed brows before any sign that he cares, despite from his expression. Oh, he's got the anime glasses.
Very well. If you need me, I'll be somewhere that isn't here.
Thank you, Johans.
Right?
You could have let
He's
the
just
man
as
do
tired
his
of this
job.
bullshit.
And I say there's no need for him. I can take care of you just fine.
What the
my
fuck?
friend.
So just because now you're jealous, Johan's is out of a job? What the hell, Hannah? That's cold.
Just where are you off to this morning anyway?
I hate the thought of him leaving me. Okay, she has some like separation issues too. She needs to work on that. Yeah, Jesus.
Dial
It feels
1-800
like
therapy.
Right, this is what happens when when Luke calls you out for being snotty. That's when you know, like, what the fuck? Maybe you need to calm down. Like when your whole life is just pleasing that guy, and then he leaves, and you're like, well, I literally don't exist. If he's not here, time to just lay down and die. Like, Hannah, you gotta do something with yourself. It feels like an eternity without him here, in this lonely place that doesn't feel like a home quite yet. You're the one who wanted to buy it. Although the mansion is really growing on me, slowly but surely. I want to be at his side, yet he fails to see such an obvious thing.
Business. Where else?
Why can't you just work from home? You can afford to, can't you?
Business needs a firm hand and a personal touch, Buttercup. Besides, I can't stay cooped up forever in here. I'll go mad.
Yeah, take the advice.
Yeah, you mean like your wife?
Yeah, Jesus.
Well, you'll come back home as soon as possible, won't you? It's so awfully lonely here without you, my prince.
I get a dog, I don't care.
I don't see why I should, though. This hasn't been a problem before.
Jesus Christ.
You know I'll come home when I come home.
You're such an asshole.
Just get home as soon as you can. For me, won't you?
No promises. It's business after all. I can't just stand up in the middle of the meeting and tell them the wife wants me home.
You literally
Don't
probably
forget those
could.
peasants.
Oh my god, Hannah, stop being like this. Luke makes her terrible.
Yeah.
But like she needs to. But she is going a whole hog on this because of it.
Yeah.
He stops and stares, looking perturbed for a moment before shaking his head. Is he feeling ill? Oh shit, is he seeing the bitch? That's not good. That's more reason for him to stay here with me, doesn't it? I'm just being a good wife, worrying about my husband and all. No, bitch, you're being great.
Be good, dear. And stay safe. There's been all sorts of dodgy characters seen about the property.
Is he also seeing the lady?
I'm pretty sure he's also seeing the lady. Because he saw the letter.
The painting in the background does remind me of rose quartz. I thought that the other day when we were seeing the bedroom, and I was like, is it? And I had to do like a double take, and I'm like, did they like fan service that in a little bit? Because that's fine.
I'll be leaving Johans with you, just in case you need anything, and to be on the safe side, okay?
Don't do that to Johan. She's in a crazy bitch mood right now.
I need you here with me.
I'll be closing a big deal with a pharmaceutical company soon, if things go according to plan. Maybe, after that, I can take a breather for a bit.
No maybes. You have to promise me.
That's not a realistic promise.
Oh, no. I only need him.
I'm going to be late, Hannah.
Oh,
the longer this takes, the later I'll get home.
Jesus Christ, Luke.
Fine.
This makes
Shall
me
I
think
see
of my
that?
husband's mom. She dated this guy who he
Is that
literally
what you
got
want?
several speeding tickets because he hated being away from her. So when he'd get off work, he would speed home so he could get to her sooner. To the point where the cops would literally pull him over because of how fast he was going, and that happened regularly. That is not healthy.
No.
That is fucking insane. Jesus. At the front door, his valet waits, ready to accompany him for the rest of the day when he's told to stay and attend to me. I still don't like it. It looks like he doesn't either. Which is fair, you're being kind of a bitch to him today. But I ignore him in favor of the only one who really matters. Oh, Jesus. I hold Luke's hand in mine and give him a deep kiss. It makes my heart flutter as I see the way his eyes close during our moment of passion. Why are you looking? He's like watching his eyes close, you're just staring intently. Jesus. Parting for air, I can only smile.
Have a good day, my prince.
Right. Off I go.
I still don't want him to leave. He should just stay. Forever. Okay, maybe
If
this
you
is
could
like
let
the
go of
ghost
my
thing or
hand,
something.
Please, Hannah.
Because like this just feels really 180 crazy.
This is starting, yeah. I'm picking up on that too.
It's just so hard to let go when I finally have him in my grasp. Yeah,
What?
this definitely feels the italicized. This doesn't feel like Hannah, or not just Hannah. To watch him enter his car and leave pains me so. It leaves behind an aching, gaping hole like a hunger and a need. Jesus Christ. I'm not content until he returns. Are you gonna just sit on the step and like stare?
Breakfast is ready in the parlor, madam.
If anything, I'll be in a foul mood until he returns. Don't be mean to your Hans.
Your bloody sodomy
Oh my
elsewhere.
God, Hannah!
Whoa.
Stop! You are.
What?
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 What the fuck? Somebody go get the priest and hit her with the Bible a couple times. I'm fucking done with her attitude.
Yeah. Johans is just like,
If I was going to be gay for anybody, it wouldn't be Luke. I'll tell you that. He's kind of a dick.
No, I think in our, I'm pretty sure they dropped that he has a husband.
Oh.
Yeah. Not sure how or when, because I'm pretty sure he's the live-in butler, but yeah.
Oh, well, good for you, Hans. When I turn around to hiss at him to leave, he's already gone, and that suits me just fine.
Also, this music went weird.
Yeah, I think it's trying to be like, this is fucking not normal.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be alone without anyone bothering me. That's
bad.
Good. Yeah, that's definitely different, because Hannah was desperate for company.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be alone with myself and my thoughts, with only these halls as company. These damned halls which will hold our memories, just he and I. There is no one else I need but my prince. Not some cheeky servant who's just living it up because he's Luke's right-hand man. Rubbish like him deserves nothing. What the fuck? He deserves to be thrown in and locked in the attic. Whoa, no! What the fuck?
Nope.
Why are we here? Without realizing it, my feet have brought me in here. Oh no, somebody save me! This empty, lifeless room disgusts me. The longer I stare at it, the harder it gets to breathe, as if the walls are moving in on me. Yet at the same time, it pulls me in. I hear a whispering, and curiosity get the better of me as I look under the bed. What the fuck? Why? There, on the far corner, a loose floorboard. The wood, despite having swelled and warped over the years, is strangely familiar. Comforting in its feel. That's weird. Though it's not merely what my hand searches for as I reach for it. It takes quite an effort, but soon I am able to lift it.
We're 100% possessed right now.
Has to be. Just like, what the fuck? Especially when she was like, these memories will hold. She's like, hold, as in current.
And like,
because
the whole thing
of
just like, I refuse to let him go. He'll never leave. He has to be here.
Also, she started calling him my prince, and I don't know if she referred to him in that way before.
No, she hasn't. No.
So that also is
odd.
And inside, underneath the dust and cobwebs, lies a pendant woman familiar. What? Fuck? And I swear, if I just close my eyes, I can feel it beating in my palm. Oh, that's not good. Drop that down. You need to leave this house. I feel a thrill, though I also feel like a thief for taking this. But it's mine. So without delay, I hide in our room. In front of the vanity, I see the ways my eyes shine as I remove the clasp of my old necklace and put on this new one. It's a lot better than the old one. I can feel it as it weighs on my chest. Oh, I don't like the music or
Right where it belongs.
Oh no! That's not good.
Danger.
Oh no! Okay,
Okay, cool. We're done with that. Goodbye, Hannah. Sorry we couldn't save your life.
well, she's not technically dead yet, but I mean, that might be worse.
She's 100% possessed and she's starting to attach ghost relics to herself. She's fucking dead.
The pleasant aroma hits me long before I cross the threshold. Faint, but light and warm. A reminder of what home is. Pa's stern but commending gaze, Ma's tender smiles, the sunlight filtering through the eaves in the morning. And the distinct smell of cinnamon and vanilla as it drifts through the air every time something cooks from the room. Why is it always cinnamon and vanilla? The room. Our room. Mom, Pa's pride and joy. My sister and I too, eventually. Oh, but we ain't allowed there. Not yet. Not until we're taller or older. Is this like a way flashback then? Not until we've learned how to take care of ourselves, not burn our hands, or reach the cupboards without having to be lifted.
This is an awful lot of exposition for the intro.
I'm okay with this. Shut up. This is adorable.
A little peek wouldn't hurt, yeah?
The floorboards are cold under my feet more than it usually is. The wall's more forbidding than what I'm used to. Uh-oh. Farther and farther the room goes. That's never good. Ma's singing ceases and Pa...
No, please wait. I'll be good.
This is a
I'll sleep
nightmare.
on time. Don't go.
Oh. I can't hear Pa. Oh no. Oh my god.
Fuck.
No! Not above the raucous clanging and the deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting, soft melodies. Okay, it's not a flashback, it's a nightmare. There's only the blinding fear. Of a memory, I'm assuming. My foot slips, the red sea that catches me is bitter and frigid, but the blood that drips on my hands is warm, warm, warm. It ain't my blood. The walls tumble and everything goes quiet. Oh my god. Oh my god, poor Zach!
Oh my god.
Jesus shit. Wow, that was a lot of context that... Oh. He is protected at all costs.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yep.
It takes a few moments for everything to fall into place, for my eyes to adjust to the relative darkness of the room. Despite the pleasant chill the AC brings, my shirt is clinging tightly to me and my blanket a tangled mess around my throat. Morning has not even arrived yet. Or arrived and yet.
Way too early for this thing, man.
And too long. Too long since the last I've woken up drenched in my own sweat, head littered with thoughts that are gone as soon as my eyes open. All too often, only imprints and brief images are left to haunt me for the rest of the day until my mind forgets about it. Egad, whichever comes first. Yet, vivid or not, what little I can remember does not matter. Regardless, the desperation sticks, clawing up, pushing, urging me to relive every moment, every sensation, and... There's a twinkle in Ma's eyes when she looks up from her work, flour dusting her nose and cheeks. Scent of freshly baked bread wafts from the oven as soon as Pa opens it, and the homely fragrance of honey fills the room. He reaches up to wipe the small beads of sweat away from his forehead before gesturing for me to come closer the moment he spots me on my little hiding place behind the door. I expected him to be angry, but his pat on my back when I come in within arm's reach is encouraging enough. We'll have to taste these first before we put it up for sale tomorrow. You up for it, little man? Is it good enough? Oh, his parents used to have a bakery. A knot cuts through the air before I can answer. Sharp, heavy, demanding, familiar. So distantly familiar. Ma ushers me out of the kitchen when Pa moves to answer it. But I know. I know what waits outside. The taste of blood in my mouth sends an unpleasant churning in my gut. Ma's apron crinkles under my tight grasp. Something snaps back into place. My bed remains in an utter disarray. The walls still need a new paint job, and the wall clock ticking opposite my bed is as unsettling as ever. Ash is right. I should have already replaced that when I had the chance.
You're no longer there, Zachary. Here and there are miles apart.
No.
Calm down. Breathe.
He needs a hug. Someone give him a hug. And not that crazy foot lady.
No.
No. She's not allowed. The pressure of my own fingers against my temple is a welcome sensation over the anxiety gripping me.
Also, I'm pretty sure someone was knocking on your door, dude.
Yeah, give him a fucking second. He's remembering how his parents were, I'm assuming, murdered. So, like, it never really did anything to save off the headache sure to follow after this before, but it grounds me. A little reminder that I am safe, away from the place I once called home, from Ma and Pa's. The urgency with each rap that follows easily, or finally chases away the ghost threatening to hang around. Hopefully not, or I mean hopefully all of them, but you never know. Why anyone thinks it's a good idea to knock at someone else's door this late confuses me. Anna would chase them away with a broom if she was here. But no matter, it's a welcome break from the thoughts about to take a morbid turn if left festering. It's probably just Ash anyway, looking for a place to crash. Looking for a place to crash. Wonder of wonders why he's bothering with the courtesy when he never did so before. Even with that hunch, though, habit compels me to check who it is first before through the peephole. Better safe than sorry, they say. Absolutely true. Except the person that greets me on the other side ain't him. Unless his hair grew longer overnight and he started wearing a ponytail, of course, which I highly doubt will happen anytime soon, no matter how funny that looks in my head. I love Zach. I waste no time opening the latches.
Isabella, it's late.
Oh, she looks freaked.
I mean, I'm pretty
this
sure...
is probably immediately... This is probably immediately post office encounter.
I assume she went to somebody or somewhere and not just home because Jesus shit.
Yeah.
There's something I can't quite pinpoint in her eyes when she looks up. Her face is a pallid shade, shoulders tense, breathing heavy, and an uncontrollable shaking in her hand she's trying to hold back. Hide, if I didn't know any better.
Hey, Zach. Sorry, I know it's weird for me to show up at this hour, but you were the closest to my office, and...
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm not really working on anything right now. Do you want to come in?
Is it all right? I know you should be sleeping at this hour, but I thought... I'm sorry, I just thought... I have no idea why I went here. My feet just moved on their own after I got out of the office, and...
Because your subconscious is a shit ton smarter than you are, and you realize you need to not be alone.
Yeah. Thankfully. She trails off, her voice lost in the muggy night air. I wait for her to say more, but instead her only response is a downward shift in her gaze. Back to her still trembling hands as if the motion alone is enough of an explanation. A minuscule gesture. Easy to miss if one is not paying attention. But for someone who has seen the same expression on the mirror, done the same thing too many times when night terrors are inevitable, it is not.
Hey, don't worry about it. At least you not. Ash just punches in and crashes on the couch whenever he feels like it.
Shouldn't have given him a key then, dumbass.
Right?
I swear that guy is one fine hairline away from being a criminal.
Without waiting for her answer, I step away from the door and saunter over the kitchenette. For a few good seconds, only clinking of the plates can be heard above the constant tick-tock. Late as it may be for a snack, the familiar motion keeps me occupied, steering my mind away from dangerous, dangerous thoughts. Isabella's company is not unwelcome either. Whatever her reason for showing up here at such an hour doesn't matter. I'll be damned if I just turn her away, frazzled as she is. Zach is a fucking hero. I adore him. The door clicks shut behind her when she finally enters, feet scuffling softly against the tiled floor. In all the years I've known her, she has never once lost her ever upbeat spirit. Yet in this particular moment, as she stands in my doorway, holding her arms so close to herself, it's as if I'm looking at someone completely withdrawn from the person I've come to know all these years.
Do you want to drink or eat anything? I haven't restocked my food stash yet, so ingredients may be a bit limited. But I'm sure I can whip something up with what I have here.
Just water will do, please. Thanks, Zach.
What? No additional food requests? That's new. I'll put something together for you anyway. And feel free to make yourself at home. You ain't exactly a new visitor here. Although my room's not at its most presentable right now. Sorry. New freelance gigs and such. Didn't have time to fix things up here lately.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Zach for character of the year.
Right? Usually she'd have something more to say about that. A quip, a witty remark to provoke a laughter or two. Nothing from her this time. Only a weak smile before she takes a seat on the couch and a silence that stretches out until what we left hanging feels disconcerting. Before everything turns stifling and awkward, I continue talking, if only to keep the dead air at bay. How's one supposed to keep a conversation going when the person you're talking to is like this? With much difficulty.
Anyway, Jigs, can you believe this one client we got? Boss had all my schedules shoot shifted after they caught wind of this couple buying a new property. Man, must be nice to have all the money in the world. The world itself moves for you, huh?
She's curled up on one side of the couch and hugging her knees close when I bring the tray carrying the sandwiches and the water she requested. She starts to straighten up as I'm unloading the contents, but pauses as soon as I hold up my hand in a halting gesture.
You're a guest. Didn't I say you're free to make yourself at home? Here's your water.
Oh.
Careful.
The tremor in her hands, though lighter now, still hasn't subsided when she reaches out for the glass. I give her a questioning look, but she's quick to avert her eyes, keeping herself occupied by taking small gulps of water. This is after Roseside, so I believe this is Monday night.
This is,
or possibly very, very early Tuesday morning.
I'm not sure where on the calendar it is. So it's after Rose. It's after Rose died, and
click
then
the book icon, because I think that'll say.
Oh shit. Timeline.
Wait,
no.
Go to.
Because I know we're not on the 17th.
Monday was 17th. Go to October 16th.
26th? No, 23rd. Not Sunday. That's Monday.
Yeah, so it was Monday, October.
Yeah.
So we haven't finished it, but I'm pretty sure it's Monday night,
Yes.
Tuesday morning, depending
Yes.
on how late early it is.
Yes. And yes, this is immediately after Isabella escaped the zombie thing in the office.
Yeah, she ran here. So,
Yeah.
which is smart.
Yeah.
Okay, worrying. The sudden loss for words, this battle quiet, not normally present in our chats. Even the creaking of the old chair when I casually take a seat is a welcome break. Although the company's familiar, this has gone way past unnerving.
What happened? Overtime at work?
They wouldn't have her doing this. She doesn't answer immediately. I think he's trying to gently question them. Yeah. Another gulp drains her glass of its remaining contents. One would think it will be enough to help her recover, yet she doesn't lose her taut grip on the glass as she cradles it in her lap. Her eyes take an unfocused gaze when she speaks again.
Yeah. Boss handed me extra work today. After what happened to Rose.
Rose? Why do I feel like you've mentioned her before?
Oh, they don't know.
They don't know her.
Sorry, I'm
He must
better
not
with
have been paying
remembering
attention to the
faces
news,
than
too.
names.
She was my coworker. That will take some getting used to. I was just talking to her the other day.
Was? Did she resign or something? I think I'm missing a few details here, Bella.
You've never met her. I think I did mention her once or twice. It doesn't matter. You probably heard her name recently from the news than me.
Something clicks then. A little memory from the night before. The bright red light from the dark room, the strong odor of the stop bath, the television's barely audible murmur in the background, and a glimpse of a bloody room. The news is everywhere, even in the morning that follows. I just didn't think its effects will strike someone this close to me.
Oh,
That's fair.
damn. I didn't mean to bring that up.
No, like I said, it'll take some getting used to, but it'll get better. Things might become a little busier for me, though. She left a lot of things unfinished, and I'm one of the few people in the office who knows how she works. Boss thinks the transition will be easier if I handle it.
That explains it. Well, just don't forget you still need rest. Even the most hardworking people I know don't keep hours as late as this. Hell, the subway stopped running hours ago. Crime rate might be lower here than most places, but that doesn't mean you can walk around freely in the middle of the night.
I think we have bigger concerns than mugging, but he didn't really get that yet. That's fine.
Just for today.
Still a good thing you dropped by here first. I'm not just about to let you walk out here alone, especially not in the middle of the night. Who knows what else could happen? I'm not saying you should go right now, but I could accompany you home if you...
No! Wait, please!
Don't, I want to go! The vehement tension in her voice makes me pause, and it is in this instant the mask she's been keeping up falls apart, if only for a short while. Right then and there, I understood what's hiding behind her unfocused stare from the moment she arrived. Fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's disturbing to see such marring her usual upbeat countenance. With a sigh, I cross the small distance separating us and kneel in front of her. She doesn't flinch when I do so. However, the way she appears to make herself smaller against the couch is telling enough.
Bella, this ain't just about your coworker, is it? What is it really about? I'm all ears.
Oh my god. The sound of glass shattering rents through the air as soon as her hold on it loosens. In the span of a few seconds, her breathing grows labored.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
She claps her hand over her ears, pressing it lightly against the sides of her head. Her voice grows weaker with each word, each plea coming out of her mouth.
Please, please don't leave me alone. I don't want to be alone right now.
Yeah,
I
this
can't
is
shake
absolutely
it off.
understandable.
Everywhere it's
reaction.
Everywhere's not safe and...
All right, Isabella. Look at me. Look at me.
My hands are firm on her shoulder when I pull her up to look at me. It takes every force of will to ignore the terror in her eyes in favor of taking control of the situation. Too close. Too similar.
Breathe. Breathe. You're safe here. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Stay in the present. I'm here. No one's gonna hurt you. Do you want to talk about it?
The force with which she shakes her head is enough reason to drop the topic altogether.
No more. Please. No more. I don't want to remember anymore.
Kate, no more talking. I won't ask anymore. Can I get you anything? Another glass of water? I think I have a tub of that pistachio ice cream you love so much. We're gonna have to clean this mess first. Will you be fine on your own for a little while?
I just said don't leave me alone. No. She nods lightly before retreating into herself again. No more words are exchanged after that, and I take that as my cue to start cleaning the shards littering the floor before either one of us gets hurt. Quiet hum of the AC is as pleasant a distraction as I go over the menial task. More so than her ragged draws of breath or my little feeble attempts to tell a quick story or two. But the latter does the trick. And soon enough, she has already drifted off by the time I return with the promised glass of water, her chest rising and falling in a steady rhythm, the strain on her shoulders gone. Frankly, I've never seen her this still. She mumbles something I don't quite catch when I carry her to the empty bed and hugs herself tighter against the mess of blankets. Aww. Zach's such a sweetie. Part of the fact that she appears relaxed, a small frown on her face hasn't quite disappeared. Whatever happened to her won't be leaving her anytime soon. Nope, definitely not.
Oh,
literally, also, because she's haunted.
Yeah.
But for her sake, I hope it won't stay long with her.
We need to send in childhood trauma expert, Zach.
Yep. There are still questions left to be answered.
Mm-hmm.
But the late hour, coupled with the sudden exhaustion, made my old couch a more comfortable bed than it typically is. Darkness immediately welcomes me as soon as my head hits my makeshift pillow. I can only wish the dreams will keep a distance for now. For both of us. Yeah, okay, so it was Monday night.
The first few notes, while muffled, are enough to wake me. In the end, it became one of those nights when sleep passes like a blink and is plagued with vague, fuzzy thoughts. I lift a hand to rub away the drowsiness from my eyes, although it does little to relieve the gritty, burning sensation from my eyelids. Outside, the sun has yet to peek over the horizon, but night has already given way to the cool morning light, washing everything in subtle gray hues. At this hour, the entire city remains unstirring. City. Ordinarily, waking up before my own alarm means abusing the snooze button, twice or thrice, just to catch those precious extra few minutes of sleep. But the persistent ringing makes it impossible now.
This better be good.
Groggily, I scramble for the bag sitting at the foot of the bed. The ringing still hasn't stopped, even as I fish the phone out, and Ashton's name flashes brightly on the screen when I turn it on. Must be pretty urgent if he hasn't dropped the call yet.
Yeah, it's been ringing for like 2
Took you long enough, Z-Man.
Quit calling me that.
It's 6 in the morning. Sun hasn't even risen. Hell, my brain ain't even awake yet. Stop calling me Z-Man.
Seriously, Ash, stop.
Past 6, Zach?
Oh my god, Ash, shut up.
Wait, isn't Ash like the anti-morning person? What the fuck is he doing up?
I don't know.
Talk. Give me back my 5 extra minutes, Ash. I want my sleep.
Hey, don't make fun of me. I can be a more person too if I want to.
What's this all really about? You don't usually make calls around this hour. Is the world ending today?
Sorry about that. Becca rang me up a few minutes ago looking for Isabella. Said she didn't show up in her own apartment last night. We both tried calling, but her phone seems to be off. Do you have any
she
idea
came here. She was terrified. I don't know what the fuck is up.
I should have known you two would come looking for her first thing in the morning.
Not a laughing matter, Zach. You can't really let your guard down with everything that's happened here recently.
That's
You heard about the Cooper one from the news. Everyone in the precinct has been restless ever since the incident the other day.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Listen, Ash, about Bella.
I let my voice trail off, unsure about how to go about recounting last night. If I should even say anything to him. He might be a close friend, but at the end of the day, whatever's bothering her ain't mine to speak of in the first place. On the bed, Isabella remains as still as when I transferred her the night before. Sometime during her sleep, she pulls up a blanket over herself and tucked into it comfortably.
Oh.
Like this, it's easy to forget the horror in her eyes, or how much her hands and lips trembled. Save for her firm grip on the edge of the covers, she appears nearly as normal she would any other day. Almost.
I'm not really sure how to go about this while being...
Zach, what about her?
Something, the worry, the concern, must have surfaced in my tone, because his own shifts then. Carefully, as if he's preparing for the worst.
Look, you don't have to worry about her. She's with me right now. Since last night, in fact.
Oh, why didn't you just say so earlier?
Because,
She kind of knocked in the middle of the night. I couldn't possibly wake you two over that. And with how things are when she arrived, I thought it'd be best if I let her rest first. I just wasn't expecting people would be looking for her before the rooster even crows.
You could have at least called her something. Becca's beside herself with worry when she found out.
And to be fair, her coworker was just found murdered.
Sure.
So, who knows? It could be people killing realty agents for all anybody knows. So it's
also maybe this is like a player thing, but it's like I wasn't aware that Becca and Ash lived essentially next to Isabella, because why would they have intimate knowledge of her apartment?
Well, it could be that they stop by in the mornings every so often, or Becca at least, because it said that when the game started, Isabella was at the school because she had stopped by Becca's and saw the medicine that she didn't bring with her or take.
Right.
You know how much she frets about the smallest stuff.
I know. I'm sorry. That was a lapse on my part. And I just didn't think, okay, you know what? Rebecca's worries ain't completely baseless. Isabella hasn't been her usual self since the movie. Maybe even before that. I don't know if I should be opening my mouth.
She was talking about wasn't fake. I'm just saying.
I'd say I shouldn't. So
something's wrong then?
You goddamn right it is.
Yeah.
Not quite sure, to be completely honest.
At the very least, her mental state is not doing well and she needs help.
Really?
At the worst, there's a fucking ghost.
That's not it. Ash, when she appeared at my doorstep last night, she was shaking, and And when I tried to ask her about it, she just panicked. Had this frightened look on her face. I'd be surprised if this was the first time I've seen it, but it ain't. Dude, the first time, she was screaming.
First time? When was this? You weren't talking about the thing in the movie house, are you? Because that was just us fooling around. Granted, I think I went overboard with the joke, but...
No, it happened the day after. When she invited us to lunch, you weren't there. We were walking one second, and then the next, she's crying out. I'll be straight with you. That scared me shitless.
Yep.
It bothered him if the way he falls silent after is telling. But whatever his opinion is stays absent from his voice when he speaks again. He's always been good with that, hiding what he thinks.
Did she say anything else?
Nothing. Won't tell me anything aside from a few vague words. I didn't want to push it.
Where is she? Is she still sleeping?
Right here with me, still sleeping.
Yeah, dude, it's
Should I
6
wake her
a.m.
up
What
or
the fuck?
something? Let her know you guys are looking for her?
No need. Let her rest. I'll drop by in a few.
Today? Don't you have work at this time? I mean, I can drop her off home myself before meeting my client later.
Look who's talking.
My schedule's flexible, Ash. Last time I checked, you're the one who didn't have that luxury. How on earth do you think I'm able to tag along when you need me?
It's not completely out of the way.
They live on the other side of the town from you, Ash. Your definition of out of the way is a little screwed up, you know.
It's fine. I have some things I need to do anyway. I'll call you back.
Something
I gotta
happened
let
at the
Becky know
office.
That scared cat's fine. Bye.
Maybe.
He drops the call before I can even get a word in, and for several minutes, I find myself simply listening to the rest of Luxborn rouses. The increasing sound of passing traffic, the bustle of the nearby shops preparing for the day, and the growing clamor of the people when they go about their morning. Not the most soothing sounds to hear following a troubled night, but the routine puts me at ease nevertheless. What's comforting, what's safe, what I'm used to. Nearby, Isabella shifts but doesn't wake, blissfully unaware as the city slowly... as the city... Shitty...
My shitty walk.
As the city slowly stirs itself back to life. Was her night as restless as the one I had? Were her dreams
I
as
can
lucid?
imagine so.
In hush moments like this, I envy her. Unreasonable, probably a little unfair to say such in light of last night. If only forgetting is as easy as breathing. A small yawn escapes me when I rise from the couch to stretch. Luckily, the short conversation with Ash has effectively driven away any will to go back to bed. I still have a day to get through despite the proverbial ghosts hanging around. The orange bottle sitting at the edge of my table is reassuring against the palm. The instant I pick it up, the sterile odor of the capsules equally so. Yet the weight they carry is something I've never gotten used to. Years ago, I'd spend minutes, heck, even hours staring at a single pill prior to taking one in. Now it's just routine, a way to stave off the unwanted nightly visits. Although I don't think Dr. Navarro will be quite pleased if he ever finds out I'm relying on them again. I do owe him a visit regardless, especially after missing our appointments on purpose and ignoring his calls for weeks. Another sigh comes out, tired and weary, and then I pop the tablet into my mouth.
Zach? What time is it?
The bottle on my hand hits the table with more force than necessary. As much as I trust my friends, there are some things I'd rather keep to myself.
Morning, Bella. Did you sleep well?
She answers the question with a long, drawn-out yawn, one reminiscent of a child. A chuckle manages to come out of my mouth at the sight. In this manner, it's easy to mistake her for someone too young for responsibilities.
Especially when she's drawn like she's 16.
Yeah, especially, she's a 16-year-old real estate agent being chased by a fucking teleporting zombie. Like...
Right, what the fuck?
Yeah, inexperienced and immature even. Easy to forget she was thrust into the role of an adult earlier than her own dreams can afford, to overlook how surprisingly observant she can be at times. Yeah, an adult real estate agent at the age of like 13 years old.
Right.
Maybe not on the same level Ash exercises for his investigations, or Rebecca needs for her own work. But it's certainly enough to deftly put what she sees around on her canvas. And if the way her eyes flicker to the table and my hand says something, it is that I won't be able to avoid the questions this time.
Only a little. I don't remember how I ended up on the bed, though.
Ma doing.
I put you there.
You didn't look very comfortable sleeping on the couch. all hunched up like that.
It would have been enough for something temporary. Sorry I stole your bed.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I leave a lady sleeping in such uncomfortable conditions? Not in this
Probably
house.
Ash, no.
My man would give me a tough scolding if I ever did that, I'm telling you.
Thanks a lot, Zach. I know I barged in at a very inconvenient time last night. I wasn't really thinking when I did, and...
Hey, it's cool, Bella. I ain't mad at you. That's what friends do. You guys are welcome here anytime. Although Ashton abuses the anytime part a lot, I don't really mind. We might have less wiggle room if all four of us are present, considering the size of this place. But as long as no one makes anything explode, it's totally fine.
Fine or not, I still owe you one for last night's trouble, especially since you don't seem to be...
A concerned expression passes over her features as she spares another cursory glance over the table, back to the bottle holding every small piece of what keeps the bad memories at bay. The blood blooming over Pa's heart, the horrified look on Ma's face as she watches him fall lifeless to the ground, and every ounce of spite seeping from the stranger's smile. You don't belong here. You monkeys don't belong here.
Oh.
It never stops, doesn't it?
Well,
That's why
you
his
don't seem to be
movie that he
feeling
made
well.
also is so important.
Let me know, okay? I'll make it up to you somehow.
She makes a slight gesture with her head towards the bottle, asking question without really asking. Subtlety has never been one of her greatest assets, but right now, even Ash would have been a little amazed, if not at a loss for words at that. She has left it up to me whether I'll ever give her the response she wants to hear or not. A little
Truth.
clever coming from her, if anyone would ask me. Truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if we can get truth from her.
Yeah.
But it's never easy, ain't it? Talking about my own problems, that is. It will never be, not by a long shot. Not when I've let it stay this way for so long. I realized that long ago, when the wounds are still fresh and the dreams are a nightly occurrence. Can't force yourself to get better and move on to better things. It is what's normal now, and I can only cope. The question in her eyes may be unwarranted, born simply out of curiosity and sincere concern for a friend. I don't owe her an explanation, in fact. But of all the people I keep close in my life, she's probably one of the very few who perhaps I can trust this with. Maybe she won't understand entirely. I can never hope she will. No, never to the full extent. That alone is expecting too much of her and giving too much of what I can. However, for all her shortcomings, I know she'll hear me out. And that is all I can ask of her.
My bad. I was kinda hoping you wouldn't have seen me with these.
The pills rattle lightly against the container when I gently set it back to its usual place. Always a small area closest to my laptop, near the right hand. Within reach whenever, and a quiet reminder of what I shouldn't miss every day.
What? Oh, is it bad? I was just thinking that maybe it's a cold like Becca's. Do you need me to get anything from the store? Soup or something? There's one nearby, right? I can run real quick and...
No, nothing of that sort. I'm perfectly healthy right now. It's really difficult to say, but... Can you promise me you'll listen at least?
What is this about, Zach?
I should have been upfront with you about this a long time ago. Well, Ashton found out without me telling him anything. But you already know how that guy is. Can't hide anything from him.
If it's
He's
something
now a
you're having trouble
detective.
saying, you don't have to force yourself to tell me. I'll forget I ever saw anything and won't ask questions. Promise.
No, I need to get this off my chest eventually. Besides, we're already here. Might as well finish what I started, yeah?
If you say so.
She takes a seat on the couch, her posture easy and open, and her smile honest. As if this is just a simple talk between two friends on a regular day. It is far from one, but her unreserved air is enough to stamp down the twinge of unease that threatens to come up.
Let's hear it then.
And she does. True to her word, she listens while the story spills out of my mouth of my ma and pa, that little old diner across the pond, and what it left in me that day. I can't recall most of it now, my own account jagged with a few missing details here and there. The passing years have eroded most of my recollection of the whole incident.
Which is a mercy, I'm sure.
All except for that one moment in the kitchen. ringing of gunshots are as vivid as it sounded that day. Even Ma's hysterical screams the moment Pa's body hits the floor motionless, his lifeblood flowing out from under him. And the gunman, he was smiling. He was smiling when Pa opened the door to welcome him. He was smiling when he put a bullet to Pa's chest and Ma's head. I've heard stories of how the world can be a cruel place for people like us before. Never believed until that moment.
Nan and Gran took us right after that. Sis and I flew straight to New Jersey as soon as they heard the news. A few days after, Ma and Pa were laid to rest. And we have a new home a continent away. I didn't even get the chance to take my favorite pillow with me. They said something about the change of environment will be good for us. They had no idea the different kind of ghosts would follow me here.
I expected questions, mostly those brimming with childlike curiosity, and maybe some that are a little too hard to answer. But to her credit, she just sat there, lent her ears, and looked at me with no expectations or unnecessary judgment in her eyes. She appears wiser and older like this, easier to see the breadwinner in her. Her younger siblings are lucky to have her. When I'm done, after everything's been said, she wraps her arms around me. A bit awkward considering the gap in our heights, but it gets her sentiment across. But it's difficult to answer this in kind, if I am even supposed to reciprocate the gesture given my earlier apprehension. She pulls away shortly with a smile on her face. Not the reaction I braced myself for, but it is obviously better than what I had imagined.
Are you not gonna say anything?
Am I supposed to say anything after? Like, apologize or something? I don't think that's very appropriate, but if you want to hear one, I can think of something real quick.
Not really. Other people have something to say after usually. And they're not necessarily nice either.
Oh,
what the fuck?
Okay then, I won't.
Maybe that's why
I
you
can't
didn't
think of
follow
something
up with his
anyway.
therapist.
Who else knows, by the way?
My older sister, grandparents, and just Ash and you for now. Maybe I think I should tell Rebecca too, but...
But not
It's
right
okay,
now?
bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, not right now. When I'm ready. Like today.
I'm sure she'll be willing to hear you out once you do.
I don't doubt she will. I'm more afraid of how she'll react after. One step at a
Dude,
time, yeah?
She loves you and supports you.
Surprisingly,
She
it
got so
feels good to
pissed
get
at
that
the
one
things
out
that
my
people were
chest.
saying about your movie.
I was a little
This.
afraid you'd be angrier. I
Yeah.
didn't tell you earlier than today.
I'm not angry. I'm just surprised. You didn't look like it. I wouldn't have suspected. I suppose that's how it often is, isn't it? We all have our... what's the word Becca uses? Inner demons? But
Those
this
are
is
two
something
words, but yeah.
personal to you. I understand why you'd rather have a few people know.
That too. Well, these past few weeks haven't been easy for you. I didn't want to add that.
Oh shit, we have a new...
Not after last night.
Alright, so we're super BFFs with Isabella. And we're still okay with Hannah. Everyone hates Luke. And why are we on bad terms with Marianne? That seems weird. Something passes in her face, brief, fleeting, and disappears right before I can recognize what it is.
You okay?
Yep, no worries. I'll be fine. Look, about last night, never mind. This isn't a good time.
Oh, this is a great time.
Don't lose sleep
You
over this.
should probably
alright?
mention it.
What's important
Because
is
what
you
if
got
it
you wanna
affects
say out.
other
And
people?
if you need
Rose is
me, I'll
already
be here.
dead.
I should be relieved. Her words are more than reassuring to my ears. There should be comfort in hearing those alone, and knowing I have another person to rely on if things ever go bad. But somehow, I find myself worrying more for her instead. I'll make another attempt to get the story out of her if I can. But this is a dance I know all too well, and with her, I doubt forcing her to say something would yield any results. As much as I want to imitate Ash, there's only so much I can ask that won't result in something a little over disastrous. At best, she'll stop talking to me until a week passes. At worst, I'd rather not risk it. I've never seen her angry. Outright annoyed, maybe often and directed at Ash, but never furious. What do they say again about happiest people when angered? Besides, It'd be unfair to her after our little chat.
So, food then?
She seems relieved at the brisk change of subject, and if it has been simply waiting for its cue all this time, her stomach rumbles at the mention of food. Rather loudly, as a matter of fact.
Alrighty, Missy. We're going to get some chow now. Better be quick, though. Can't have your stomach starting a revolution on us here.
Don't make fun of me. I'm not that hungry.
You are, it's
Maybe I
fine,
will.
shut up.
I didn't think I'd end up skipping dinner last night.
But then I was at work and then there was a fucking ghost, and then I was too scared and I fell asleep, but I ran and I'm very tired and hungry. Please feed me.
I should probably drop by the grocery store after the meeting this afternoon.
I can make a quick run for you if you want.
Nah, I've got enough to put together something nice here. Maybe. I could always improvise if we're missing an ingredient or two. It ain't like we're going for a Michelin 3-star status here. Also, didn't I say you're a guest? Is this a Filipino thing? Or just Rebecca rubbing off on you?
The soft laughter that comes from her doesn't quite reach your eyes. Neither. The answer is neither. Because if she stays idle, she'll remember.
On second thought, I might need a little help slicing up the potatoes while I prep the ham. You up for that?
Ham and potatoes.
What? Do you think instant noodles are all I'm about?
Yes.
I'll have you know, I can cook a mean paella with my eyes closed. All my siblings love it.
I thought it was pronounced paella, but alright.
Yeah, we're gonna just...
Sure you can.
Jacobean.
I think I know what we'll do with those spare ingredients.
Is that really how it's...
Despite the massive effort to keep the mood light with small chatter, cooking ends up being a mostly quiet affair. Between us, the consistent clapping of the knife against the board and the muffled noise from the television I left running, words have become surprisingly difficult to string together. Not entirely unusual, we've had moments like this before, but definitely unnerving with how things are now. I really wish someone else will come knocking at the door. As pleasant as this is, breaking the ice or keeping a conversation going has never been my forte. That has always been Isabella or Rebecca's department. Sometimes Ash's, although most coming from him border on awkward or embarrassing.
That's fair.
Speaking of the guy, he never did call back, and I'm willing to bet my entire yearly salary that he fell right back to sleep after that call.
Probably.
Sorry, Bella, could you...
Yep, I got it. The potatoes are almost ready, by the way. I turned down the heat just in case. You might want to check on them, though. Hold on, I'll be right there. Sheesh, wait up. If you keep rapping at the door like that, you'll break it down. Ash.
Probably Becca like, where the fuck were you?
Ash has already welcomed himself in when I take my eyes away from the oven. He's never been really keen with the notion of courtesies after he's warmed up to you, this guy. All 13 of my locks he broke can attest to that. Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
He's a good fellow, though. Maybe a tad bit standoffish at first glance, but he's trustworthy.
Don't you have work today?
I could ask the same of you.
Your business, no. It's okay, calm down, sassy hands. Stop calling him
Something
that.
came up? You need to drop the Z-Man. It's getting old.
Sorry, I got caught up with something at the precinct on the way here. Had to attend to that first before things got out of hand. I'd tell you about it, but you know how it can be with those kinds of things. Later, maybe.
And you're here because...
What? I'm not allowed to say hello?
I doubt you're here because of that. And you're not answering my question.
Ah, my bad. Forgot to mention that. She called earlier looking for you. Rebecca's worried because you didn't come home last night.
You could have called my cell instead.
You weren't picking up.
I tried, you dumb bitch.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Check
I
your
really
missed
hate to cut
calls,
this little
Jesus
get-together
Christ.
short.
Yeah.
But I need to be somewhere else.
Okay.
Come on, Isabella. Let's get you home. I'll drop you off on the way.
She's having breakfast.
We're going now?
Yeah,
Dude, I'm hungry.
What about food?
Yeah.
He lightly claps a hand on her arm and begins ushering her out of the apartment, throwing a casual wave as they pass. Isabella, on the other hand, doesn't appear too fond of the idea. Sure enough, before they can even cross the threshold, she puts her firm foot down, force alone enough to halt both of them and catch the taller man off guard. It would have made for a funny picture. The way Ash almost crashes into her and Isabella giving him an indignant pout over her shoulder. Surprise and confusion are in his face all at once, two things that rarely ever grace it if he can help it. A rare moment even for our small group. If only I had my camera with me. Dang.
What is it?
Yeah. Zach cooked something.
If it's
I'm
just food,
hungry.
I'll get you something on the way back.
No, fuck you. It's his food. It's Zach's cooking. Real delicious food that actually tastes like food. At least stay and have a bite, please.
Ash, you're in an awful fucking rush for something.
Yeah, what the heck?
Zach,
what is
help
up,
me
dude?
here.
These two, whenever they are in the same room, sometimes it feels like herding a group of unruly kids instead of talking to two mature adults.
It's not talking to two mature adults, so you're right on point with that one.
One moment they're engaged in a pleasant chit-chat, and the next they're bickering over a minor issue. Frankly, if I
Just
didn't know any better,
Smash already! No.
and I have an overactive imagination, I'd say there's something going on. Never mind
there
how
is, but-
utterly impossible that idea
Because they're
is.
both dumb children.
Or it might be me reading too much into things like always. I can already
Absolutely
hear
not.
Ash's laughter if I so much as suggest such.
Awkwardly as he tries to avoid the.
This,
I've
however...
cooked them a feast.
Yeah,
they
no.
need to stay and eat. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know about you two, but I think you guys should really stay. I've already made enough food for all of us.
Oh, we went
There'd
up
be a
on
waste.
both of them.
He's like, okay, I really want a good excuse to eat. I'm hungry, but I'm trying to be cool here.
Yeah.
Why, I cooked up that special honey glazed ham you two keep on yapping about.
Yeah.
Got some scalloped potatoes with onions and cheddar to go with it, too.
Oh, fuck, I'm hungry.
The oven timer dings.
That was the most stockiest of oven timer ding sounds.
I know, it was so good. I shoot the two of them an apologetic look before sauntering over the kitchen, mittens in hand. The sweet smell of the glaze and the salty tang of melted cheese wafts through the air as soon as I open the door and take out the two trays inside.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
The scent immediately fills the entire room. Even with the door and windows open, the mouth-watering aroma lingers. It's appealing enough that when I put
I'm also hungry.
It's appealing enough that when I put the dishes down on the counter, another starved stomach protests loudly, followed by a burst of laughter. My head snaps up at the two of them, and I can't keep back the smile as they sight the make. Isabella is clinging to the doorframe for support, doubled over with breathless laughter. Ash is the more composed of the two, trying to look unconcerned, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. It's clear whose stomach they came from, and Isabella's not gonna let him live this down.
You're in no place to reject an offer of free food, Frey.
I wasn't rejecting anything. Damn it.
Yeah,
I'm
you were
a
just being
meal, that's all.
Uh-huh.
Aw, he's flustered.
Shut it!
He's so cute.
Those guys at the precinct said it was urgent. Somebody has to be responsible for it.
Ooh.
You get take like 10 minutes to eat. But yeah, I wonder what happened.
Aren't you precious?
Right. You know, if you keep laughing like that, you'll burst.
I'm sure it won't be as bad as your stomach suddenly rumbling like a starved.
Aye, kiddos, play nice. Who's gonna get cold if we keep this up? Ash,
Seriously,
you gonna
you
stay?
do not want your scalloped potatoes to get cold. That is rude. Eat those fucking potatoes while they're hot and melty.
Might as well, since Scaredy Cat's so hell-bent on staying.
We eventually settle down after the food has been served. The jibes replaced by another round of friendly chatter, mostly about what's on the news the night before. There is, however, a conscious
Yeah,
effort to
okay.
avoid mentioning what's currently on the headlines.
Like, what was on the news is not
Yeah,
breakfast conversation.
because we keep jumping around days, it's like really hard to.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
The dead is never a good topic to talk over food in polite company, this case in particular. The wounds are too fresh, too soon.
Yeah.
I'd likely avoid it as well if I were in her position, and someone I personally knew passed away in a gruesome manner like that. Though perhaps the closest thing we got to broaching the topic is when the infamous mansion is brought up again. But even then, we're careful, Ash and I. We keep the conversation light and avoid bringing up her late business partner. It's the least we could do.
The Wrights? Yeah, they're planning to move in soon. In fact, they already have a housewarming party planned. It's
Yeah,
why
'cause
they
they are
wanted us
crazy.
to rush the papers. They wanted to send the invitations out as soon as possible.
Oh,
God,
now
those
I
scalloped
get it.
potatoes, they look so good.
Get what?
They sound
Remember
even
what I
better.
told you last night about the new clients?
Vaguely? Sorry. I was a little out of it yesterday. Was it the photo
fair?
shoot?
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
it's
actually for the
their
one you sold.
place, actually. Yeah.
Ermad.
Ermagerd. It's the Ermagerd mansion.
Mansion.
When you put it that way, I suppose it makes sense why my boss wants me to prioritize the couple. They can have those documents rushed at just a snap of their fingers. Then they're more influential than I initially thought.
Yeah.
I guess my boss is expecting a lot more from this project than I expected. Hope I can live up to it.
Your photographs are more than good enough, Zach. You'd probably win an international award if you let yourself. Ma'am Hana's easy to please, too. As long as you're good at following instructions.
Easier said than done. Different clients have different tastes, after all.
Still, a week? I don't think that's possible.
Now that you
It
mentioned
is when you have enough money to throw at it.
They wanted everything finished at the earliest.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not unheard of, but...
But it's still weird. Still weird, yeah?
A slip of the tongue. Still barely noticeable to someone who's already familiar with Ash's ways, yet in this moment it's impossible to miss. I shoot him a curious glance, but he ignores it.
We're not
Rather
going to talk about the
pointedly.
fish code.
I can't exactly say it's like that. Where I'm just the middleman after all. As much as I want to comment on it, I only know what's on the surface, not the in and outs. It's just that BRC and my boss are more hands-on with the legal stuff this time.
I don't know.
Despite having a separate department dedicated to it.
Maybe Mr. Wright helped with it too. They have their own legal team for this, don't they?
He's
I believe
totally
so.
1,000,000% investigating the rights for something.
Well, they should have one. Especially for a big property like this.
They have, but like I said, it's off our hands. Rose and I don't handle this stuff in the office. If anything, to me, this just means I'll be able to send the rest of the funds to Papa's treatment earlier.
I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. Officially off our instant noodle diet, aren't we?
Ash, has anyone ever told you that you have an uncanny way of ruining the mood?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys.
Constantly.
What? I was just saying. A few more months of stuffing your face with those, and I'm sure you'll start to look like a noodle cup. That's a pretty picture.
At least I don't live off convenience store food. Or make poor, unassuming pressure cookers explode.
Is your
Dude, what the heck?
What the heck is your dog doing over there?
Oh, they were hippling a little bit.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
How did you...
How do you
Come
know?
on, Zach.
What?
Sorry. It just came up while we were cooking earlier.
I'm impressed, Ashton Frey. You even made it to the news.
A one-time thing. And it wasn't as big as you seem to be imagining.
Oh, sure. Let's all pretend that one time you almost set my apartment on fire didn't happen too.
Hey, that was an accident.
Was
You
the
were
pressure
making a
cooker
sound,
not an
Ash.
accident? What the fuck?
Can
He
we
literally
please
Homer
move on to a
Simpson.
different topic?
It helps. The casual talk, the harmless teasing, the mundane story is interesting enough to let time pass unnoticed. By the time lunch ends, the shadows are no longer at forefront of my mind. If it's the same for Isabella, for whatever troubles her, I can never tell. These things, the anxiety, the fear, they ain't easily seen, ain't easily forgotten after all.
You go on ahead. I've got a few things I need to ask Zach. I'll be downstairs in a minute.
Confusion briefly flashes in her eyes as she catches the keys he tossed over, but he doesn't give her an answer and waves for her to go ahead.
How sure are you I won't be driving away with your Shirley?
You don't even have a license. Do you even know how to?
Papa taught me how. I'm probably a better driver than you. See you later, Zach. Thanks for the food.
Always has to have the last word, don't you?
You're welcome. I'll send you the recipe for the potatoes tonight.
Yes, please.
Sure. A grin is back on her face when she leaves and closes the door behind her. For a little while after we're left alone, Ash goes wholly quiet, listening, waiting for her remaining footsteps in the hall to fade. The earlier amusement is gone from his face, replaced by what I can only describe as trepidation. I know that look all too well. When he's like this, he's expecting shit about to go down at some point.
That wasn't very nice, Ash. What was that with Isabella earlier? You're usually subtler with your questions.
They hired you.
Hired me who? Don't change the subject yet. What's really going on here?
The Wrights. Luke and Hannah Wright. You said your next gig is with them.
Is that what this is all about?
Just be careful around them. You have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to that couple. I'd rather you stay as far away from them as possible, but you're already here. Isabella's their real estate agent. Seriously, of all the people in Luxburn.
Okay. I guess I'll just have to take your word for it.
He nods, claps a comforting hand on my back, and turns to leave without another word. He's never been good with those. More often he fumbles with what he wants to say, but his actions alone are enough to tell me how grateful he is for the trust. He reaches for the knob as soon as he gets to the door, but doesn't turn it. Instead, he looks back and gestures with his head towards the table. I don't need to follow his line of sight to know what he's going to ask about. He's likely taken notice of it the moment he entered the room.
You back on those? I haven't seen you taking them in a year.
Yeah, I kinda had to. It got worse after the film fest. The dreams, that is. I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon.
No, poor thing.
Heard about that. Don't drop it, though. You don't want Becca scolding you. She actually enjoyed the movie you made, and she's hard to please. Consider that a small victory.
You don't have to tell me. She already did. Rebecca and Bella both gave me an earful after I said the opposite. Promised them I wouldn't, but you can never tell. Hopefully, once I feel better, I'll be able to think about it properly. Speaking of Bella, she didn't open up to me, but maybe with you and Rebecca.
Yeah, I'll try. I can't promise anything, but I'll talk to her.
Yeah,
Thanks.
just could you be delicate
That's all
about
I'm
it,
asking.
Ash? And maybe she'd open up, because you're not delicate.
So we have...
That's the problem.
So we, despite our best efforts, we have, like, positive reputation with Ash as far as Bella's concerned, so maybe that'll happen. Probably in his chapter, once we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can choose to not be a fucking obnoxious asshole as much.
Well, we can try within the options we're presented.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. This time, when he reaches for the door, he lets it close fully behind him without glancing back. A mild draft sweeps into the room as I close the door behind him, slightly disturbing the papers on the nearby fridge. A lone note flutters by my feet, the letters on the surface glaring at me with mute intensity.
No. Oh, thank God.
No, he's already seen the letter.
No, no, but I don't know if holding it could be worse. I don't know. But Zach is precious.
Ermagerd Mansion,
No,
H. Right,
no.
11 a.m. for luxury living. After Ashton's warnings, they all hold a different meaning now.
Yep.
New day. Are you going, or am I still going?
Sorry, I'm sorry. Like you said, new day and it didn't click. The next 2 days rush by in a blur, altogether leaving a collective mess of work, suddenly piling up, and new unexpected acquaintances or friends. Depends on how you look at it, really. So if it's 2 days, then this should be Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay. Either way, I'm stuck developing these photos at 3 in the morning to reach a deadline set by an overreaching art director. Oh no! Do you think you got a picture of the lady behind? Hannah, because he'll be like, what the fuck?
Ooh, maybe.
Don't get me wrong, Julius is good, has a vision, and knows what he wants. Damn, he can be too enthusiastic sometimes.
Remember from Hannah's chapter, like when he was taking a picture, he saw the thing and got like super spooked.
Yeah.
And it was when he hit the shutter but didn't like release. He didn't release the finger. I wonder if the camera still picked something up.
That would be crazier if it did.
Doesn't matter when you couldn't sleep anyway.
There's nothing new in it, of course. After years of working as a freelance photographer, it is simply something I've grown used to. Get to know people, build a client base, do good work, and cash in some late hours if need be. Rinse and repeat. Certainly takes a while to get some footing on the field, but it's the kind of thing that pays off in the long run, as you say, or as you keep at it. Given enough time, you might end up with big names on your client list. Names like the Wrights in particular. Never did pay much attention to them, but it's virtually impossible not to hear about them when local news channel or paper has something to say in their name. A party here, an acquisition there. Sometimes it's a new business venture, other times it's the everyday gossip that typically follows popular people like them. Not in a million years did I ever imagine I would end up working for such a high-profile couple. That's fair. And between that and the fuss that comes with, it leaves me no time to ponder over what happened to Isabella or why Ash is so adamant we keep away from the pair.
They do seem like the good folk, though, despite the whole fame thing.
I mean, you didn't hear what Luke said about you, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Hopefully you don't, because I feel like that would upset you, and honestly, you would have every right to punch him, but he doesn't seem like the punching kind.
Yeah.
Just a shame, because man, Luke needs to get punched in the face real bad. Sure, there was a rumor running around years ago about him being involved in some business scandal. But just like every gossip blown out of proportion by the media, nothing came of it, and eventually it simply died down. Much is definitely left to be said for the husband, but I doubt a woman like Miss Wright would pick him up if he doesn't have any good points at all. Miss Wright, Hannah herself, though. Jeez, that one boob is so much bigger. I'm sorry, I'm just looking and it's like, that doesn't seem quite right with the portion. She ain't particularly bad the way the press makes her out to be. Tabloids had it all wrong for sure. For someone born with a silver spoon in her mouth, well, she ain't exactly what I was expecting. Among other things, newfound friendship was what I least expected from her, but here we are. Although, with life as public as the Wrights, no wonder it's the woman who often gets the crappy end of the stick. I can't help but feel sorry for her. She's a real nice person when given the chance. Heck, she might have even ended up friends with Rebecca and Isabella too if they weren't living worlds apart. Probably. The beep quickly pulls me back before my thoughts travel any further. In one practice motion, I carefully place the wet print I'm holding on a drying rack and amble over to my makeshift darkroom to get the last photos from the water bath. Inside the converted broom closet, the film processor lets out another soft clack before going on its standby mode. At its mouth, a lone photograph sits on the tray, barely visible with a lack of light. It's gonna be the bad photo. It's the last one tonight for the set Ms. Wright requested. I don't usually make this a habit, giving away stuff, that is. It's bad for the business, no matter how well-intentioned or generous you are.
Yeah, fuck you, pay me.
Yeah. This exception, however, she did treat me well and was a pleasant companion all throughout the shoot. Even if she didn't ask, we probably would have given her a few prints just for the hell of it. Ms. Wright ain't such a bad subject matter to begin with. Maybe this is just me, but for someone who has everything in the palm of her hands, all the money in the world, a loving husband, and a plenty big mansion to call home, she's lonely.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't just appear like it. It shows in the tone of her voice, how she moves, and most certainly in her smiles, that's for sure. Always hidden behind the glamour for the world to never see. Sometimes for people like her, small things like these help. A little reminder that the world can be kind too. Water drips from the paper as I blindly pick it up and gently lay it on another tray holding a decent amount of photo flow. A few seconds under the solution is all it needs before it's ready for drying. No good rushing this last one, even if my body's already screamed for some decent snooze. My hand fumbles for the light switch, moving towards it with familiarity while I fish for a squeegee among the mess of tools on a drawer with the other. The bulb flickers twice before its glow settles and casts a soft light in the tiny space. When I glance back down, squeegee in my hand, ready to finish the process, I finally call it a night. That's when he sees it. Oh, God!
Oh, Jesus.
Her head is gone.
I didn't expect that.
Nope, that is. I think it's not as obvious, so it looks like it could have just been like maybe somehow the picture just got fucked up and not, it's a fucking ghost.
Yeah, and not like her head has been consumed by ghost.
No, it's warped and there's red, but it's...
Yeah.
Ugh. You can kind of make out the figure, so I guess that's what it looks like. Blurred and distorted beyond recognition, rather. The area completely smudged over, leaving no trace of the same sweet smile the good woman carried in all the previous prints.
Damn, that was too careless.
A common mistake to make, of course, is one of if one is negligent enough to pick a newly processed photo in the dark like I apparently did. It has happened before, loads of times actually. But I still can't help but feel a small pang of frustration over one mistake a newbie would likely make. With a sigh, I reach up for the switch again, intending to develop a new one from scratch.
It could pass off for one of those supernatural pictures they show on TV, though.
Oh, Zach, you're gonna find this less funny later. Memory clicks, one cursory thought in the sea of many, and a short yet distinct second from the day before. glimpse is all I got, but it's enough to burn the image in my mind. There was a shadow.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
A woman. In her 20s or early 30s, maybe? How could you possibly even fucking tell?
You can tell by the brain, because you can see the brain right there.
But with how far gone her flesh alone has become, it's not possible to tell at first glance. The skin itself had already taken a sickly pale color, rotted in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and a lesion on her body. Bony hands grip Mrs. Wright's neck like a noose, straining the skin underneath with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes.
Zachary?
Not for me, but for Miss Wright.
Zach, is something the matter?
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. I just remembered something I saw. Let's get back to the pictures. Can you move a bit more to the left, yeah?
The memory alone is enough to make me retch. I brushed it off then. A trick of the eye, I told myself, or a product of the heat. It's probably like 80. You guys are babies. No? It's like 110 here already, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
The weather has been unexpectedly warm recently, so it shouldn't be too surprising for such things to happen. Is it? Oh. And, well, blaming this on the usual fatigue, an overworked brain, the weather, or an amateur error on my part, far more convenient.
Yes, let's think about the easy
Let's
things.
keep just ignoring all this shit, and despite the fact that, like, Rose is dead, and that letter thing that fucking Bella showed you, and then how terrified she was, let's not connect any dots and possibly be in the know about this. Let's just keep on being in denial.
Yeah, no.
People!
It's chapter 3. Let's just keep being in the in denial phase. Yeah.
Oh, you should probably save because it's been a little while also.
Sure.
Just in case. Or hers. It makes a whole lot of sense that what the small voice inside my head whispers. Same tiny voice that only makes stuff known when something's afoul. The same one that lent a curious ear to Isabella's worries about the mansion. And with each second I spend staring at this photograph, the murmurs in my head only grow louder against my ears. Someone has to know.
Someone does have to know, yes. No, okay, so we are here to save Zach. If Zach shows the photo to Hannah, Hannah will kill Zach. Because Hannah is possessed. So we have to show the photo.
But Ash didn't seem to believe Bella. I don't know if he's ready to believe him now. He'd probably be like, maybe you just goofed up the photo.
So we can bring Ash around if enough evidence piles up, right?
Yeah.
It's
got it. So I say show Ash?
Yeah, this has got to be show Ash, because like this is a link in the chain.
What if taking it to Hannah, having him go is what's going to help us save her?
Do we want to risk Zach to save Hannah?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
show Ash.
fucking show Ash.
Okay, I'm like, okay. Ash will give me flack for this. He will. I can already hear what he's going to say about this the moment I bring it up. Hell, before he even sees anything, I'll wager. This guy's a septic through... That was a Freudian slip for you. Guy's a skeptic through and through, and it'll take more than my account for him to even consider this.
Right.
Just also show Bella. She'll be like, no, oh my god, that fucking, you're describing exactly what I fucking saw.
Yep.
And then Zach will be like, that's what I saw too.
Yeah.
Without her telling me what she ever saw.
Yeah.
And Ash has to be like, well, that's either crazy coincidence and you guys are both crazy, or oh fuck, it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Because oh fuck, it's a ghost.
Yeah.
When you've been there, seen something enough to raise the hairs at the back of your neck and leave you wanting to flee or hide, what he thinks is the least of my concerns. I'm no hero. That's the title best reserved for someone else. Still, if this will help him change his mind, it's worth a try. Isabella's gone and done the same thing, didn't she? Outside, the sun is yet to rise. Yes, but now you can be like, I believe you. Now we need to convince Ash because, holy fuck, ghost.
Yeah.
I've still got a few hours before dawn. Good enough time to mull over how I'll go about this with him. Plenty of space to check if I'll get the same result if I redo the process again. Actually, this would have... If this is Thursday, She didn't get possessed until like Friday night, Saturday.
We can
but
check.
Still, just in case.
I mean, we can check the journal real quick because, like, we're on. Yeah, we're on Thursday. Yeah.
And then December 28th. Yeah, the party. So then.
Yeah, the party
29th?
was on. Yeah, possession confirmed on the 29th, and we're currently on the 27th. So yeah, we got like 2 days.
But
so
still,
technically, technically this could have been an opportunity to maybe save Hannah, but at the risk of Zach, and just nope, nah.
Yeah, no. Because I don't know if that could just be bad for him.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
Yeah.
The film processor hums back to life at my touch. The light switch gives out a soft click, and darkness embraces the small closet again.
Sounds like a job for Scooby and the gang. No. No, there's a real monster in this one.
Yeah. Well, they did deal with real monsters a couple times.
Did they?
Yes, Zombie Island, where it turned out the zombies were not the bad guys, and it was the gypsies who were actually cat monster people, and they tried to kill Scooby and the gang after they discovered, because they were using the zombies, I think, to like steal youth.
I have an incomplete knowledge of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, it's a great movie. It scared the shit out of me when I watched it, because you're like, holy shit. This just like, they're pulling out the face and you're like, no, that is an actual zombie. And then the Scooby Gang's like, oh, fuck. We are not equipped for this. We're detectives. We're not, this is legit. Yeah, sometimes I wish Ash would make himself easier to find.
What, the fucking goofy parka, it doesn't stand out?
Right? 24, and the fucking wallet chain. 24 mess. I'm never gonna. It's the most ridiculous. I just can't. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
24 messages, 13 phone calls, and 1 visit to his flat later. I still have no idea which rock and looks for. He went off to hide under again. The guy has his own place, but refuses to stay in it. Has his own phone, but doesn't answer any of his calls or give any indication he's gotten my messages. Most of the time, he'll just show up at my front door. Sometimes in the middle of the night, complaining how uncomfortable it is to sleep at the back of his in the back of Shirley, his car. As if the old couch in my flat is any better. Nothing new from him, though. But a bit frustrating, really. There's the police precinct, of course. Then again, he's not there most of the time either. And if that's also true for today, he's likely out on another stakeout. There's nothing much to do for me but to wait if that's the case.
Let's just hope I'm lucky enough today.
While Luxborn is a relatively peaceful city boasting a low crime rate, its precinct stays abuzz with activity. As soon as I open the glass front doors, murmurs coming from the people waiting in the lobby welcome me. Oh, so hopefully we get to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Officers can occasionally be seen shuffling in and out of the rooms, greeting civilians with casual smile and a polite nod. Because, like, we know Rose died, but I feel like something else happened, because Ash mentioned, I think so. Some, though, look a little worse for wear, like their receptionist, who looked at me with much disdain the moment I arrived. What the heck? Thankfully, I won't have to deal with him today. Before I can even step in, Ashton's voice, though low, comes from the hallway adjacent to the lobby. Oh, that's good.
Not even for
Easier.
just 1 minute?
No. The case was dismissed, remember?
You were the one handling that case.
If you want access to those records, you've got to ask Chief. I was taken off it before shit went to hell. Why do you even bother? Even Professor Clark seems to have given up on that.
Well, never mind, you won't understand.
Right. I know you owe Professor Clark a lot, but the right guy isn't just someone you mess with. They've got the money. Who knows what else gets swept under the rug with them involved.
That takes a special kind of ignorant not to know.
And a smart person to know which boundaries he can't cross. You're a bright guy, you'll figure it out. In any case,
okay, so
I've got
he's
to
a
get going.
renegade
Another
detective.
missing person
That's
case on
why
my
he wears the
hand.
fearless
Benjamin
gloves.
on the front desk looks like he's about to maul someone after the 4th one yesterday. Murders, people
all these-
missing. What a time to be alive. Man, I miss the old Luxburn.
You and me
everybody should
both.
just fucking
I'll see
leave.
ya. Gotta go grab some lunch.
Fuck this. He notices me first as soon as he enters the lobby and pauses. Confusion briefly crosses his face until I fish out the phone from my pocket and wave it up. Frowning, he pulls his own mobile out, wordlessly fiddling with it for a few seconds before sighing heavily. There ain't any annoyance in him when he glances up, though. Only mild exasperation at what might be a hint of amusement.
Stop taking pointers from Isabella. This is gonna get old soon.
At least use your phone properly.
Right?
It's an alarm clock, a good note-taking device, a halfway decent camera, and maybe a music player too. If I'm being nice.
Dude.
It's also a phone.
Yeah, you... Dude, like, what if there's an emergency?
I don't know, keeping in contact, maybe?
When he merely shrugs, I know I've struck a chord. He's far from holding a piece of technology in contempt, of course. Ash has always been nothing but practical from the start, and technology is useful. Only when he gets too focused on one thing, like a case he's handling, he tends to forget there are other things around him. A little reminder and a nudge in the right direction can get him a long way.
I've got an email on that social media site the girls roped us into joining.
That doesn't make any sense. Also, you've got an account before any of us had one.
For policing purposes? Anyway, why
Yo,
are you
I'm
here?
trash.
I saw you have something scheduled today.
Facebook
Or
is very
was that
intrinsic to
yesterday?
policing.
That was yesterday. Look, about that, there's something I want you to see.
He stops me with a tap on my shoulder, walks past me straight to the door, and gestures with his head towards the very irked receptionist when I raise my eyebrow in question.
Over lunch. I haven't eaten anything since last night, and Benjamin there doesn't really like loiterers around here.
Wordlessly, I follow after him, but not after sending the poor guy behind the table an apologetic smile. It's fair.
Oh, hey, it's Apple Bikes.
Yep. As expected, he takes a seat in the farthest corner of the cafe, a good way from the window, but easily allows a view of who comes and goes. Secluded enough not to be disturbed by the lunch hour rush or be overheard by a curious bystander. If I didn't know this is lunch he invited me to, I would automatically assume I got dragged into another stakeout. After years of knowing him, though, this has simply become one of the many habits he has that I've gotten used to. Food arrives minutes later.
Hey.
Slice of their vegetarian quiche for me. Meanwhile, Ashton has opted for a cup of coffee, plus a gracious serving of...
You having cake for lunch?
Fuck you, that's valid.
Yeah, right?
Shrugs and then proceeds to dig in without even a hint of remorse.
Yeah, fuck it. It's cake lunch day.
Yeah, dude, I'm with Ash. So
Yeah.
on that, like, fuck you. Frankly, it's like seeing a child get his Christmas present early.
Don't tell Becca. I'll get an earful. It's just for today.
Fuck her.
You should listen to her, though. The kind of work you do, you'll need to eat something other than sweets. I don't want to see you drop dead in front of my apartment again.
I told you, just this once. Have you been hanging out with Becca lately? You're beginning to sound like her.
Yeah,
Nah,
Zach,
just for some recipes.
ease up.
But she has the right to worry, you know? It's like she's taking care of two kids. One bitches on sweets, while the other on cup noodles.
Damn.
That's fair, though.
Maybe that's why Becca's just angry all the time.
At least Bella knows how to cook.
Hey, I can at least boil something. Wait, that's easy, right? I mean, you just put water in and...
No, don't even think about it. You destroyed your own kitchen once by sticking a pressure cooker on it. I think my sister is a whole lot better than you. And this is coming from someone who has no other choice but to eat her cooking for some time.
To be fair, he genuinely appears offended at the last remark. Hate will be too strong of a word to describe how Sis and him usually interact whenever they're in the same room. Oh, I wonder why. Though whatever appropriate word it is, I can say with most certainty that the feeling's mutual for both. Ash thinks she nags too much, while Sis thinks he's a trouble magnet I should stay away from. Probably both are correct, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're both technically right in their assessment. Yep.
How's your sister, by the way? Still bullying white guys?
What the heck?
What? What?
I don't know if this seems weird and random. I guess she's married to one now?
So, do we answer honestly, or do we just, like, rib into him?
No, Zach's nice. He's not gonna rib. Just say she's married to one now.
Yeah, but fuck Ash.
She's married to one now.
Alright.
You do know she's married to one now.
I hope she doesn't end up poisoning him with her cooking.
Hot calling the kettle
How's the
black.
relationship? Did that improve, or is he gonna be pissy about it?
That went up.
Oh, okay.
I have a feeling it might have gone up either way.
Right.
She can't be better than me.
Actually, she is now. They're planning to start a restaurant sometime in the future.
I was bedridden for days after eating some of the stuff she whipped up. And now you're letting her cook for other people?
Don't exaggerate. It was just for one day, and you're the one who refused to leave your apartment. You should come by, though. Sis gave birth a few days ago. Girl, I've only seen the pictures, but I might visit sometime after everything's settled down.
Does the infant girl have a name?
Yeah, the name is Girl.
Or is it Girl? I mean, there's men named Guy, so why not?
Yeah.
No way in hell. She'll just find something to criticize again. Last time, it was
there's
Shirley.
plenty. He makes a show of being utterly mortified, though I'm quite sure he doesn't mean any of that. He might not say it straight out, but I'm pretty sure he's enjoying the small visits whenever he can. Something about it reminds him of his own family, sort of like making up for one he never got back after his parents separated. Oh. Sore spot, that one topic. The one he never brings up in any conversation if he can help it, and I've never seen the need to be nosy. I imagine my parents are split up, doesn't just pop up a lot, so that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some wounds you're just not meant to open, and for the both of us, the sentiment goes the same way.
As if you ain't already on a shit list. You're just afraid of her.
In your dreams.
You probably should be. No.
But I'll think about it. Can't just drop this thing at the moment.
His change in tone is subtle, but his aggravation over the matter hangs completely palpable in the air.
Still no closer?
The opposite, actually. There's been some slip-ups here and there. Careless mistakes, and let's just say I'm waiting for him to make another one. What about you? How are things on your end?
All piled up on top of the other. But I can manage. Still recovering from the expenses for the movie, so the surge in new projects helps. Well, there's this one thing.
The expression on his face grows more puzzled with each photo I spread on the table. There's about 8 of them. All of it reprints of the same thing. Mrs. Wright's distorted head on the photos. Yeah, he didn't fuck up the picture. That's the picture.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a minute to go through each, eyeing the prints warily. Furrow on his brow doesn't ease even as he gathers all of it into one pile and sets them in one neat stack in front of me with a heavy sigh.
Hannah Wright?
Yeah. How did you...
The locket. She never takes it off. Evan's family heirloom.
I won't even think about asking why or how he knows that, because he's a detective and he's got too much time in his hand. If he's investigating them, he'll likely have already dug up every unimaginable dirt on them, including family history.
Mm-hmm.
Are you done with your work with them?
Yesterday, yeah. That's just a small feature from a magazine. Interviews, photos, standard stuff, nothing big. But see, here's the thing. I don't know how else to put this out there without sounding crazy, but there really is something odd with that place. Remember the letter?
He drags in a breath, reaches up his nose and pinches it. Like the action alone will help grant him all the patience in the world to continue this conversation.
Please tell me this isn't about that again.
No, Ash, you've got to listen this time.
I am listening, and I can't believe that just came out of your mouth. These are some
Dude,
blurred
I
out
saw
photos,
something.
and that letter is just a stupid prank. I expected this from Isabella, not you.
Why would she prank us like this? Why was she terrified?
Yeah, why
to the point where she didn't even go home from work, dude?
Yeah, and even if that's all possible, like, you're saying you don't expect this from me? Yeah, because you should fucking turn your head and goddamn listen.
Obviously, we're not fucking with you, dude. Something is going on.
Hashtag kill Ash.
You're the photographer here. I don't see any need to get worked up over this.
Exactly, and I'm telling you, this is not a blur. This is something fucked up with the picture. This is not like, oh, the Carolyn's flirt or some shit.
Yeah.
Ash leans back on his seat, but doesn't say anything further. He gestures for me to continue with a wave of his hand, impatience clear on his face. Any other person telling him this, and he'll walk out without batting an eye. I suppose the only reason he's giving me the benefit of the doubt is because we know each other.
Ash, I don't easily buy into these things as much as you do. Yesterday, though, behind Hannah.
He blinks at that, his eyebrows lifting momentarily before settling into a deep frown.
Hannah? Since when were you on a first-name basis with the right missus?
Asher, you...
Not the fucking point, dude!
Not what we're talking about.
Listen!
Why does that even matter?
Yeah.
I thought you said this was just a gig.
It was?
Ash, you are
My God.
Focus! There's a ghost! Somebody's already dead! Ash, you're gonna get yourself killed being a fucking skeptic asshole! Take your fucking wallet off that chain and get your shit together, man! His voice stays level, but the accusation in it is as clear as day. It hits a nerve in me somehow, more than that tone usually does. I do get where he's coming from, but...
That's not the point here.
That's not the point here.
We're not defending whether or not this was a gig. We're talking about that was the fucking point.
Yeah, no, like, fucking focus.
Yeah.
All the things I said, my connection to the rights is the first thing he points out. How did the relationship? Is he dead?
Oh, that went down.
Well, Ashton, you need to fucking listen.
Yeah, Ash, you need to fucking get your shit in gear.
As much as I want to keep my own annoyance at bay, I can't stop it from seeping into my voice.
That's completely beside the point here, Ash.
I warned you, Zach.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Dude!
I get it, alright? But you can't just expect me to turn it down after I made a commitment to a client.
Why are we still talking about the gig?
I've got to put food on my table.
I didn't say you shouldn't, but you should not be messing with them.
I wasn't
Stop messing with them!
And this isn't?
He waves the photos in front of me before dropping the pile on the table with a loud smack.
A, those are some weighty photos, and B, if this was messing with them, I would have brought the photo to them and not you, fuckface.
Right, dude! I don't need to look to know we've already attracted some attention from the lunchtime crowd. Besides, turning away from him feels almost the same as admitting he's right. There are things more important than his damn case right now. I wish he'd see that. See, people are dying. What if this is part of it?
That ain't how these photos were intended to come out. You think I'd go out of my way just to edit something like this? There's something weird going on here.
And you think Luke Wright will see it that way?
Who gives a shit?
No, I'm bringing this to you because I need you to help me. There's some shit going on, dude.
You think the Wright missus will find it amusing?
I did not do this for my amusement, Ash. People's lives might be at stake here.
What if it's Isabella, you fucker?
Be having this stupid talk. Luke fucking Wright is a dangerous man, Zach. Keep hanging around them and you'll find yourself burnt to a crisp in your apartment or floating down a river 3 days later. This case is...
Will you stop talking about the damn case for once and just listen to me? Why do you think Isabella's...
Don't you dare bring her into this. We're talking about you and
this is part of this. This started with her and she was trying to tell you and you didn't fucking listen, Ash. You went and saw a professor.
I don't want to talk about it. Because you're fucking afraid there's some damn truth to what she's saying now that there's two of us.
Every expression drains from his face as soon as the words are out of my mouth. They've hit their mark.
Good.
Yeah, Ash, you need to take this shit seriously. There's a fucking ghost.
We brought the shit to you for a reason, fuckface. Come on.
Dude, you're a cop. Do something. Get a ghost gun. We're gonna need some special bullets. You need to kill this shit. Each utterance scathed sharp with nothing but anger and the truth. Yet there are also things I won't typically say out loud in good company and rather ease people into before letting it fall. No, but he is not listening. Almost immediately, a wave of regret washes over me.
Ash, dude, that ain't what I meant to...
You said enough, Zach.
Without another word, he stands, his chair scraping loudly against the floor, all while my brain races to find something to fix. No, fuck! No. We need him to believe us, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What would, like, saying it's just a gig do? He'd be like, oh, well, you're just lying. Why are you... What would that have done? Did we fuck up?
I don't think we fucked up.
Ours ain't a fragile friendship by any means. I like to think we've gone past the stage when we find everything the other says insulting. Like, this seems like we lost relationship.
We lost a lot of
Ash,
relationship.
But, yes, but I don't know if it's like if it could mean that he'll listen and take us seriously then, and that could save him, or if it's gonna lead to bad things.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell. I don't know how like you're supposed to do this because, like, in some games you have to be nice and build the relationships with the people to save them.
Yeah.
And other times, no. There are times when letters and phrases alone can cut deeper than any blade. Mine might even leave a scar. What? He doesn't let me, however. Instead, he sets a card in front of me.
Oh, the professor dude. Professor of psychology and ethnography.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The name is familiar, but amidst the cloud of remorse swirling inside my head, I can't bring myself to recall where I've seen it. Were we supposed to be nice and then he would go with us?
I don't know.
Although, the other thing didn't seem... It's just saying, like, dude, it's not... It was just a gig. Calm down.
Yeah. Yeah, I think our options were get angry and hit him in the face with it, or try to keep the conversation friendly, but Ash doesn't listen to shit because he's a fucking brickhead.
And, like, we need him to... First off, that was absolutely not the point. The point is the ghost thing, and we need to listen. This shit is real.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be running blind. Call this guy.
Thank you.
He'll be less inclined to shout at you. Might even talk some sense into you.
Or maybe he'll talk some sense into you, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. I don't see his face when he leaves, and it's only when the store bell chimes that I... Again, do I breathe? No, I'm worried, though. Fuck.
No, look, it's not our fault that Ash is fucking thick. Zach did what he needed to do.
He said, like, he's absolutely true that, like, look, you are trying to find reasons to deny it, but, like, something is going on.
Mm-hmm.
All the places it never crossed my mind, I'll end up wandering into the public library today, considering I rarely ever visited. That's fair. Somehow there has always been this kind of disconnect between me and books in general. Sure, some of them had my attention in my youth during the brief moments, or brief times of the day I was left to my own with nothing to do. I went through the whole of Grand's collection, as a matter of fact. Read all of them twice or thrice, even. But they never did hold it for long. Most of it never even sticked.
Done stucked.
Yeah. Especially after I learned it's simply easier to do things myself if I want to learn stuff. It's fair. This ain't the plan in the first place. But after the argument, I really don't have any other choice. Hold on here, let's look at the branching choices and see what... So we can maybe see. Okay, so...
Where are we currently?
Whoa. Oh.
Yeah, So
well, the other one was probably if we went and saw Hannah.
Yeah, so that's talk to Hannah.
Okay.
This is
dude, hers got fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of content,
and
but like honestly, that just seems
way
bad.
the fuck ahead. Yeah. So now we're over here, and it's it's just story update question.
She's married to one now. Okay.
Yeah.
That was...
And then question. Yeah.
That's not the point here.
So.
Okay, so it looks like we did choose.
No, it was an okay split.
Yeah. And then what was the second thing?
I can't tell what.
The butterfly.
No, it's just story update. All the butterflies are just.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the butterflies are story update, but if a butterfly follows like a question mark, that's a choice that we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think then I think that was we needed him to hear that.
Yes.
He doesn't like it, but like
we needed him to hear that. Yeah. Like we got straight to the fucking point of just like, no, me and Isabella are telling you the same fucking thing. You need to fucking listen.
Unless us telling him or like being like, hey, it's just a gig and not getting mad means he would be here with us.
I don't think so.
Possibly,
I think we for fear of making him mad, we just never would have like put the two fucking puzzle pieces together for his dumbass.
Listen, what happened to Isabella, what I'm seeing, it's not a fucking joke, and we need to take this seriously, and you don't want to face that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, nothing but quiet greets me inside, though. Not the typical mom one would associate with the library, but one akin to a hush prior to an impending trouble. Oh, no. Or perhaps I'm just overthinking again. No, could be both. I really like to think I'm just thinking too much about this, that this is just lack of sleep talking. Regardless, apart from a group of students murmuring in a corner somewhere, the place is free of its usual visitors. No, I don't like that there's less people. All my footsteps echo in a manner unsettling enough to raise the hairs on my back. What if him not being here with us because we were mean means this act's gonna die?
No, because like, no, there's still people here. Like, it's a library. There's not going to be that many people in it, but there's still fucking people here. No, we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he dies, we're reloading the save. When was the last time we saved before this?
A while ago.
Here, well, let's make another save now, just in case.
All right.
For just features.
Alternatively, we leave Zach's death as like a testament to how much we suck at these games.
We'll see about that. Much to my relief, it does not, because we can always just skip and then do the choices, because like we've read that now. Okay, so much to my relief, it does not take me long to find him, being the only occupant in this side of the room.
See, there's someone here.
Okay, some friends.
Professor
Okay,
20-year-old granddad.
Yeah, Professor Granddaddy. I've never personally met the man, but Ash has spoken highly of him several times. In fact, he is Ash's go-to guy when something's troubling him with a case. My steps are unsure as I approach. At any rate, he greets me with a warm smile like a grandson he hadn't seen in a long time.
Ashton's friend, I take it. Zachary. You'll have to forgive this old man if I don't get your name right.
Oh, no, you got it. It's Zach. Zachary Steele, Professor Clark.
He gestures at the empty seat across the table while he returns to his books. The next couple of minutes pass in relative silence as he continues to read and take notes from the pile he's accumulated on the table. Maybe I should have taken a book first before heading here?
Why? We don't know what we're fucking reading.
Yeah, no, you don't need to, like, look busy.
Yeah.
But before I can even get far into that idea, the professor clicks the book shut and sets it atop the stack next to him.
Ashton told me you were hoping to get answers from me.
Yeah, dude, there's some shit. At my confused look, he lets out a small chuckle.
He sent a message ahead. A friend needs to have some sense knocked into him. And verbatim.
Yeah, a friend does need to have some sense knocked into him. Would you mind helping
And
me
it's
with
Ash!
that? Yeah.
That boy never changes.
I wasn't really expecting he'd do that.
Although I'm not quite sure what I could share, I'll do my best to help.
Of course, there are lots of things I want to ask. How did we get out of this mess? Is the first among tens, hundreds of concerns in my head. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But in the presence of someone I barely know, the thoughts won't easily form. He's nothing but patient, however, and with enough time to mull over, a question finally forms.
Do you believe in the paranormal, Professor?
It's supernatural, actually. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
It's a common
Excuse me,
mistake to
Mr.
But they really
It's
are
like the
two
English
different
teacher
things.
equivalent of can or may.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. I can go to the bathroom,
You
and I
fucking-
may just take a fucking piss here if you don't let me go pee. I'm like fucking 14. Just shut up.
We're dealing with fucking Professor Actually.
Right. Well, actually. Yep.
The other one deals with what we can't explain at the moment, while the other are things we may not have an explanation to.
Oh.
Here.
Okay, whatever. Places a couple of papers in front of me, the very same one he was writing on earlier. Study of Luxborn's supernatural culture in a nutshell.
A friend of mine wrote that a few years ago. He took interest in the city after reading about the stories. I have to agree with him here. Even stories dealing with things you don't see with the naked eye can be rife with culture, and this city thrives on it. Just ask the locals.
Like ghosts, for example.
Among other things. The interpretation has changed over the years, though. Various religions, for example, have their own version. It might not always be a spirit now. It could be a memory, or an imprint, an echo, so to speak. Some are born from curses, even. Out of great anger, hatred, or pain. There
Now
was
that
this
mention
one
occurs to me now.
story. Ah, here it is.
Is it about the Ermengarde Mansion? Another book is pulled, because that might be very fucking relevant.
Yeah.
Another book is pulled out from the stack and placed open atop the papers, while he speaks with such passion that it makes me wonder if some part of him believes these to be true. It is interesting, though, even if I'm personally not a fan of such stories. And soon, hours pass without my note. No, dude, you need to show him the pictures. We could be on a fucking time singe. People could be dead.
In the end, it asked for something to be sacrificed in order to destroy whatever anchors the wraith. A sad tale,
Don't
that
like
one.
that.
But the simplest grudge can bring the ugliest, even in the kindest person, with some people none the wiser.
Yeah, fucking
I'm
Ash.
sorry, I just went on.
Nah, it's good. Are you familiar with the Ermengarde Mansion, though?
Of course, that goes without saying. Who hasn't heard of the local legend?
I don't think it's
In
just a
fact,
legend. People are
you
fucking
weren't the first
dying.
one to ask me
Please
about
help.
that recently.
Yeah.
Although, word of the mouth is, someone has already bought it.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
The right couple. It was a
That's
close
actually
friend
why
who
I'm
handled
here.
that sale.
So I heard. Well,
And then
don't
one
think
of the
the
real
house
estate
being bought by
agents
anyone will stop us
is
from
dead
talking
and
about it.
murdered.
Yeah, in a
So-
creepy room that has "Help Me" written on all the fucking walls.
Which
is
is
it about the
exactly like the
mansion,
letter that other friend found. So, I'm seeing a very scary connect the dots that could lead to me being murdered in a room with help me scrawled and blood on the wall. So could you help me not be in the news for that? Thanks.
Yeah.
I just want to ask what you think of it, sir.
What?
We're going to need more than an afternoon for that, young man. You see, it's the kind that has changed over the years, passed down from one person to the next. Sometimes it's the Lord William who haunts the place. There are versions where it's the lady of the house.
This
But
time
my
it's the lady of the house.
A personal favorite would have to be the ones that followed after the disappearance of the kind daughter.
How old was she?
What about these then?
There was a moment of hesitation on my part before I pull out Mrs. Bright's photos and laid them in front of him. Unlike Ash, though, the professor inspects each print with great interest. That gives me some hope, at least.
When were these taken?
Just
Yesterday.
the other day. Do you think those are the same?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. There were certainly instances when the film would pick up what the human eyes weren't able to see. But then, it could also have been human error.
I didn't edit it in any way. You have my word on that, Professor.
He said error, so he assumed that maybe you fucked up taking the picture, but I doubt it.
They all
Wouldn't
just
do that.
came out like that.
Then, if it is what you're thinking, I'd strongly advise against doing something reckless and further tangling with them.
Yes?
Accounts about them may be
I
riveting to
agree.
you, but most of it often ends in an unpleasant manner.
Okay, but
what about those people in
what
the
if-
house? If there is something in there, shouldn't they know? I'm
Fuck
sure they're
Lou.
already
Maybe
familiar
Hannah,
with
but like, don't
legends,
risk your life. Fine.
Some people might deserve it, however.
Oh, Professor,
Mm.
that's
Red flag.
that seems a little that's
Deserve
concerning.
what, sir?
All of a sudden, the tenderness in the professor's eyes disappears. His face becoming unreadable. He's
Oh.
got the glasses.
The anime glasses happened.
Oh no. As though catching himself, he hastily clears his throat, gathers his books, and rises from the seat. Okay, so they've done something to him, directly or indirectly,
Professor?
clearly.
I'm
Or somebody
sorry.
he knows or loves.
I just remembered something I neglected to do. You'll have to excuse me, Zachary.
All right. Do you need any help with that?
Don't let my looks fool you, son. I can still carry a few hundreds. I've been doing this for years.
Oh, good for
I'll
you.
see you some other time if you have any other questions.
I have a lot of questions.
Yep.
Of course. It was nice knowing you, Professor.
That's a what?
Don't say things like that.
No, that's not how you phrase "I'll see you later" or "It was nice to meet you." It was nice knowing you. What the fuck? A few short strides, and he's out of the library, leaving me and every piece of this whole mess amidst the oppressive stillness. Despite the answers claimed, more questions resurfaced. There's even a single way out of this. I hope we find it soon. Seriously. The moon is well into the night sky by the time I make it back home. My heavy treads and the sound of the traffic outside echoing in my ears, filling the empty room with some semblance of life. Nana would scold me if she ever hears me walk like that, but after today, I really can't give a damn about everything. Mattress creaks under my weight as I unceremoniously flop down on it, and I find myself looking up at the paper under my grip. An invitation and a request to cover an event, the Wright's housewarming party tomorrow evening. No!
No.
No. If only it were that easy, but it'll give me a chance to talk to her. No.
No.
About that thing in her house.
No.
With a sigh, I let my hand fall to the side of the bed along with the invitation. I'll think about it tomorrow. My head ain't muddled with thoughts of a headless woman and the haunting smiles of a ghost. Belatedly, it occurs to me that the last meal I ate had been the one with Ashton. An empty, gnawing ache makes itself known, but I can't bring myself to stand up. Today was a complete waste of time, and frankly, a disappointment. Crap.
Jet.
I don't like this.
Jet.
That feels like maybe this was a mistake.
Well,
lack of certainty, the disquiet, the lack of stable ground to stand on, the part where I do not know what will come tomorrow.
there are no mistakes. There's only elaborate BM.
Ever since that damn letter, everything has been thrown out of the loop. I wish everything stayed the same. Me too, buddy. Routine would have been easier to make sense of than this. Closing my eyes, let the noise from the streets below lull me to sleep. At the very least, that's the one thing that hasn't changed. Okay, and this is after she's possessed?
The melody carries into the hall long before I cross the threshold. Solemn but gentle and soothing, a reminder of what home is. Pa's firm but meaningful gaze, Ma's wistful smiles, the warm rays filtering through the eaves at sunset, the distinct smell of wet earth and leaves after a long day's rain in our room. The room. Ma and Pa's pride and joy. The place we were once promised several springs ago. Yet it won't stop.
No, wait! Come back! I'll be good this time! Please don't leave! Please stay!
The floorboards are cold under my feet more than it usually is, the walls more forbidding than what I'm used to. Farther and farther the room goes. Ma's singing ceases, and Pa... I can't hear Pa. Not above the raucous clanging and the deafening roar of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting soft melodies. There is only the blinding fear. But when the light breaks... Her skin has already taken a sickly pale color, rotten in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion on her body. Bony hands grip Hannah's neck like a noose, staining the skin underneath with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Nothing but malice fills the gleam in her eyes. A scream ripples through the air. My whole body feels distant.
Oh no!
Every limb
Oh, no,
heavy
did we
with lead,
fuck up?
all unable to move at will. Not even so I can wipe the beads of sweat forming at my temples. Let me just reach over here. No, we're fine. We didn't kill Isabella. We're not killing fucking Zachary. Gum your tits. The rasping of my breath easily fills the room in the wee hours while I force it back into a steady rhythm. There's a tightness in my chest I can't shake off, my heart pounding against it as if it's about to burst out. Something cold has settled in my legs. Not the usual chill that comes and goes with the passing breeze from the window, but one strong enough to sting, shackle, and leave a frigid sensation creeping up my skin. With every struggle I make, the pressure winds firmly around my legs. Tighter, and tighter, and tighter, all until it becomes too much. My heart stops. Another draft sweeps into the room, and bringing with it the iron tang of blood. Thick, suffocating, filling my nose with a foul, sickening smell as I shift my gaze downwards, and it slowly comes into view. Mouth is stretched in a hideous smile, and eyes brimming with nothing but madness. The stench of gore taints the air around me, and I can't look away. From it, her, from the terror and death that her uncanny, twisted features alone scream. I try to open my mouth to shout, to ask for any help, but my voice has left my body altogether. All I have is a painful realization that no kind of plea will ever save me from her. Then suddenly, the bed dips.
Oh no! Oh my god.
The brutal plunge back into myself jerks me awake.
I was gonna be like, yeah, leave me here, you do! Okay.
There is no ear-splitting scream, no wild thrashing of limbs. Just a painful, constricting awareness that something has wound itself tightly around my neck. I waste no second pulling it, a blanket, away, but allow myself a few minutes to steady my breathing before getting off the bed.
Oh my god, I was about to be so pissed and disappointed in us.
Inhale, hold, exhale. 1 step, 2 steps, 3. But the dreams have gotten worse. Ever since 2 days ago, no longer are they the small cursory flashes that I'm used to, but vivid ones that linger. I can still feel the blood in my hands, the putrid smell of rotting flesh, the sickening crunch of bones breaking with every movement, and her cold, chilling eyes as they bore into me. I draw in one long, ragged breath, and before I know it, I'm walking out the door. Even in the waking world, it reeks. A bench on the park is far from the most private place for thoughts in Luxburn, considering its location at the heart of a bustling city.
Don't be alone right now, that's fine.
But in the early hours of the morning, it provides enough peace and quiet for any poor, problematic soul who happens to wander here. The city is just waking up, a little later than usual. But knowing what day it is, one can't fault it for being a little tardy just this once. Yet neither the pleasant morning chill nor the soft twittering of birds does anything to banish the images. Every single one has rooted itself in my head, its claws digging deep in what is no longer a safe place to hide in.
London Bridge is falling
It used to be easy
Oh, Jesus Christ,
finding
I
some
fucking hate that
pretense of
song.
peace under the guise of sheer optimism, following regular routine. Now I don't know what to make of it. Sometimes it's easier to run, easier to hide when everything's falling apart. That way, you don't have to be the first to witness when it does. It worked when things went bad with the movie, after all. It also worked when Ma and Pa were taken from us. Maybe it really is just better if I just...
Oh no, kill her, she's evil! Fucking kick that child!
The tiny voice gives me...
No kids! Kids are bad! No.
The tiny
kids
voice...
in horror movies and games, always bad!
Yeah, put the kid in the fountain. Chop chop.
Chunk her and run.
Yeah. The tiny voice gives me a pause. When I look up, a little girl, maybe about 6 or 7, is peering at me. 2 wide eyes, overflowing with what can only be the natural curiosity one typically sees in children. I vaguely note the St. Goretti uniform she's wearing before returning her greeting.
What is that high school kids look in this game? Cause bullshit.
Kylie.
Kylie?
That's my name. Mama said it's rude not to call people by their names.
Oh, that's Hannah's niece?
Is
I
it?
believe she mentioned Kylie.
Oh shit, maybe. She then flops down on the empty space beside me. Her little legs, still too short to touch the ground, swing in tune with a song she hums under her breath. I don't mind kids. Nana would often invite the ones in our old neighborhood to give them treats. Of course, by then, Sis and I were both too old to play with them, but you get used to the commotion eventually. It's not completely as unpleasant as most people would imply. Kylie seems to be a well-behaved kid anyway.
Oh, check her in the fountain yet.
Nice to meet you,
No,
Kylie.
she's fucking gone.
Is Ma here?
They were out.
No, but my big brother's with me. He's taking pictures with his camera over there.
What are the fucking odds?
She points to the far end of the park, the one closest to the street, where a kid is taking shots of something above him.
I see a bird. No.
It doesn't look to be birds because all there is on the side of the park are buildings.
I don't see what's so interesting with the tip of a building, though. I'd take pictures of dogs if I were him. They're cute. Do you have a camera too, mister?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I'm actually a photographer.
Mama said I'm too young to get a camera.
Probably
sure
smart.
your
You
mama
break in,
will
that shit's like
eventually
hundreds
give
of
you one.
dollars.
Yeah, right?
No offense.
Won't you be late
You're
for
just not
school like
dexterous.
this?
Big brother will get us there on time. Rowan promised Papa.
Is Rowan a name we know?
Maybe.
We aren't going to be late.
I don't think so.
Sports day. So it's not good if you keep looking like that today. If it ends up raining and we lose, it's your fault.
What?
Fuck you.
All
It's
right,
definitely
I'll try
related
not
to
upset
that
the
family, I
clouds
guess.
today, kid.
Yeah.
Is it because you're sick, mister?
Before I know it, a smile has spread over my face.
No,
They
it's
s-
because I'm haunted and or cursed.
Yeah, they say kids ask the toughest questions sometimes, and they sure do with how sincere Kylie looks. Lying feels like doing her a huge disservice.
No,
kid.
not sick. Just having a very, very bad day.
Why is that? Is that why my big brother ate all of my pudding? He did that once and then cried. It wasn't very nice of him.
Yeah, it's
No, it
exactly
wasn't.
like
You
that.
should kick him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You see, there's this mean girl. She's given my friends and I a lot of trouble. I
Oh,
even
she's
got in a
dead and
fight
she's a
with my
ghost and I
best
ain't
friend
out.
because of her. Hard to keep up when things are like that, you know? Especially when you can't do anything. It's kind of scary. Makes you wish things will just stay as peaceful as they used to be.
Maybe she just wants to be friends with you?
Unlikely.
I highly doubt it. Yeah.
She already hurt one of my friends.
What if she's just sad? Or maybe she just wants help.
Okay, but like, if
Melody,
it feels
I let her
like
borrow my crayon when she left
dude,
hers.
better.
Alright, we're gonna pick this child up, and we're just gonna 180 the child and just like pile drive her into the fountain.
Shot put.
Yeah.
No, we're playmates.
It's not really the same thing, Kylie.
Yeah,
What
just
she
trust
did
me. This isn't about
was
some
bad
fucking
things.
crayon. She might have viciously murdered one of our other friends.
Did you try talking to her? That's what Mama said I should do.
Is this their way of telling us? I mean, okay, so the professor before mentioned maybe things aren't as it seems. This fucking kid is like, maybe she's sad or something. I feel like they maybe wouldn't bring it up unless it is a possibility. So we should maybe keep that in mind in the future too. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Even though this is an annoying, dumb way to do it.
But maybe don't risk Zach to do it.
No.
Yeah, no. We'll like send Ash to talk to the ghost and see what happens.
Yeah, see if he still wants to be skeptical, then he can fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll work either.
You haven't even tried yet. You sound like Rowan.
Do you not let me in with that pudding meter? No.
Yeah, you goddamn right I'm scared, tiny child.
Fucking I could die.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That strikes a chord. Maybe it's the honesty in her tone, or simply the truth in the words itself. I don't know why, but I can't help it. I laugh. Loud enough to disturb an elderly couple taking a leisurely walk nearby.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, fuck old people.
That's nothing. You're a really smart kid, you know that?
That's what I've been doing, ain't it? Go full speed ahead, then backtrack when the going gets tough. Stay in my safe zone because that's what I know. Once, Dr. Navarro said I should be the first one willing to deal with my problems before anyone else.
That's fair.
I didn't show up on our next appointment after that.
Aww.
But he's right. And though I hate to admit it, knowing what I've seen, but the kid makes a good point too. I've been so caught up thinking there might not be a way out. Maybe there isn't, or maybe there is. But that doesn't mean I should just leave it up to fate. Aren't spirits supposed to be humans before, too? Had people they cared about lived a life of their own, smiled and laughed like the rest of us does? Do they really lose all that after death?
You better get to school, though, or you'll miss sports day. You should have won yourself some awards, alright?
Alright. Can I show it to you when I do? That can cheer people up, right?
Sure.
In the distance, her brother calls for her, and I took that as a sign to leave. Got things to do, to face. The first few steps, they say.
Nah, I'm good now, I think. Thanks to you. Besides, Mister needs to go. But you should show it to Mama and Papa. I'm sure they'll be proud of you, Kylie.
I will. Thanks, mister. Bye.
I give her a little pat on the head before heading my way.
Zach, you're precious.
A small gesture of thanks from a stranger she didn't know she might have helped. She may not understand it now, even though at such a young age she already has this understanding of things, but maybe when she's older. When the world no longer seems too big for her.
But aren't you going to help me, mister?
Ah!
Oh, what the fuck? Throw it in!
With what?
Confused, I glance back.
No! No! Kick her!
Pile drive into the fucking fountain.
Yup.
Whatever cheer our little talk brought has vanished under the shadows, suddenly dancing in my eyes. The frigid air is most definitely not how the morning chill should feel like. Bitter, stinging, unwelcoming. And the kid...
What do you think, mister? Are you going to help me?
What do you want from us?
The response never comes, however. Because when I blinked, gone.
Hello? Mister? Are you okay?
Nope, I'm really not. Please don't.
I am super the opposite of okay. For several passing
like
seconds.
Little kids and horror things are never good.
I let my stare linger on her face, waiting for any sign of another change. But all that remains in there is the carefree smile of a child. None of the spite, none of the cold, bloody smile.
Nothing, huh? I really need to go, Kylie. It was nice meeting you.
See you again, mister!
No!
No.
Never!
Absolutely not.
Away from me!
I break into a fucking run. I don't look back, not even as I bump into a couple of passers-by as soon as I am out on the busy streets. Going insane. That is what this is. And if we don't do something soon, we all will be. The tremors follow me even as I get home. I had hoped a little stroll around the block for a few hours would help.
He should call Isabel and be like, look, I saw her too. What the fuck's going on? I believe you. We need to figure this out. You need to get everybody else to know Ash is being
call Isabella.
Asshole, and it's gonna get us all killed.
Fucking yesterday, call Isabella. Instead, I'm assaulted with more images of her smile, the loathing in her eyes, the stench of gore, the horrid crunch that comes with every movement she makes.
Ugh.
Even old memories have been sullied by her, and Ma's song no longer sounds as sweet as it meant to be. In the end, all I got is a sinking feeling I will never be rid of her image, and another ridiculous idea that may or may not even work. The sun is already hanging low on the horizon when I make it back, and for the first time, coming home feels like a chore. Only, I didn't arrive to an empty room. Because as soon as I open the door, I'm greeted by none other than...
Sup, Z-Man?
I told
you better have an apology
before going here.
It's fine.
It's Ashton I see first, sitting comfortably on my couch, munching on a bag of chips, with both feet propped atop the coffee table.
Dude,
whatever proverbial stone has made a home in the pit of my stomach automatically flies right out the window at the sight of him. But before any exasperation can set in, my attention is taken by the other occupant in the room. Isabella perches on the only other chair in the room, attempting to make herself smaller, it seems, from how closely she's hugging her arms against her. Oh fuck, she saw it again!
Probably.
Nevertheless, she gives me a small smile when she notices my stare. Yet somehow, there ain't any warmth in it like it's supposed to have.
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
That's probably false.
I kept breaking my locks.
Only after you broke the 13th one. I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And
Learn how to lock pick without
me
busting the
Z-Man.
thing.
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my...
Ash smirks at me, because of course he has the gall to smirk knowing what he did. He pops in what's very likely the last piece of chip into his mouth, and folds the wrapper neatly on the table before throwing it onto the nearby trash. From her chair, Isabella shoots me an apologetic smile as soon as the foil hits the waste bin with a dull thunk. Common sense dictates that I should be angry, but after everything, despite things we've yet to straighten out before it blows up in our faces, having something normal play out in front of me, no matter how childish their antics can get, I can't bring myself to muster even a tidbit of it. Behind me, the television starts blaring the music for the end credits of a movie. They have likely been watching for a while if Ash has gotten impatient enough to rummage through my cupboards and watch something.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good. Zach.
I'm not hungry. I'm too scared and just haunted to eat.
It's free food, you know. What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food. What happened?
No,
I saw a ghost and now I'm just terrified forever.
It's been several days. We're back to not hungry. She saw the fucking ghost again. She
Like,
saw the fuck.
Jesus.
No. So we told Ash to fuck off. Ash went to go see Isabella, and they saw the ghost together. We did good, goddammit. I'm fucking riding this train all the way to the goddamn station.
Okay. Until there is absolute evidence that somehow that fucked up.
Yeah.
So.
Ash only shrugs at the question in my eyes. I can't be the only one who finds this vibe she's giving off to be odd, and the guy has no doubt already caught wind of it.
Right, Ash, come on. What the fuck?
Ash, Jesus Christ, you're a goddamn
If you want
detective.
something, just say so.
Okay, but you should be like, Isabella, I saw that lady and I'm freaking the fuck out. Look at these pictures. What is going on?
But for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is
Yes.
not really what we came here for.
Yes.
Ash, he's the one who...
She casts a brief glance at Ash, and in an instant he sits up. Every trace of amusement is gone from his face as he clasps his hands in front of him and leans forward. A minuscule gesture meant to ease, yet the grim expression on him tells a different story altogether.
All right, you two, what's this about? I don't like those looks. If this has something to do with the other day, I really am sorry about that. It was rude.
You need to fucking listen,
I
dude.
didn't mean for it to come out that way.
A short but tense pause follows. They're both stalling. Under normal circumstances, I'd wait. With these two, the more you force it, the more they'll clamp down on it. But as a handful of seconds continue to slip by, the unsettling feeling in me also grows with it. Soon, it turns into impatience. Before I can demand a response, though, one of them finally speaks up. It's Ashton who first breaks it.
No, don't apologize. I should have listened.
The asshole.
Yeah, see? You should have fucking listened!
You!
Jesus Christ!
Fucking thank you!
See?
You're right!
Yeah, we
Fizzle,
fucking...
alright.
Yeah, we did it.
How is
Okay.
everything with you lately, Zach?
Not great.
Yeah. Yeah, somewhere in the neighborhood of fucking shitty.
Hold on, Ash. Both of you. Did I just hear you say that? Is this why Isabella's here?
Mm-hmm.
Has something happened?
Yep.
Calm down, we're just here to check on things.
Bullshit.
So, did you meet Andrew about the photos?
Yeah,
What
also,
photographs?
he's got some stuff that's a little concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Said photographs have been sitting untouched since the day I dumped them in my drawer. Isabella goes very still when I hand her the small stack. To her credit, she does not flinch like I'm expecting her to, and flips through each of it in silence. But while her eyes remain strangely calm, her hands have gone rigid and her mouth has set into a thin line. She, out of all people, understands what this means. In hindsight, she should have been the one I approached before Ash.
That's the option.
We need to branch out on this, yeah.
What did Andrew say about them?
It could be one, but there's no guarantee it's a supernatural thing. It doesn't always happen. So, that's a dead end right there. Now that
I mean,
think
but I
about
know
it,
what I fucking
bothering
saw.
that guy for this feels pretty silly now. But with the dreams lately...
That's all? Did he say anything about the damn letter at all? Did you
I didn't
ask him
mention
even?
that, no.
No, we didn't talk about the letter. He fucking bailed on us.
Yeah, he got real
Yeah.
evil sounding. And then he's like, oh, no, I got things to do. And it's like,
I
there's
paused,
a lot of follow-up.
glancing at him skeptically. I don't know where this sudden curiosity is coming from. It's coming from Isabella.
Right?
But if Ashton, calm, cool, collected, always logical Ashton, takes interest in this, something or someone must have fucked shit up somewhere.
Yep.
Or the world is ending. Seconds
Porque no
pass.
las
The apocalypse I'm expecting to go along with it doesn't arrive, however.
Yeah, that's really everything. The letter kind of slipped my mind. The photos were more important at that time. There was some stuff about the local horror stories, though. Talked about the curses, and he was really fascinated with the story about a wraith asking for a sacrifice to move on. Kinda nasty if you ask me, but it does make sense if you simply go along with it. I'm not sure how this will help in the grand scheme of things. Why are you asking about this anyway?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach.
Yeah, no shit.
It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
Zach, stop dunking on him. He's fucking here. Let him fucking listen.
Yeah, like, okay, let's not just get like, oh, so now you believe? Like, let's just, okay, good, we're on the same page. We need to fucking move forward.
We'll do I told you so's in a month when we're all still fucking alive.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something.
Uh-oh, is
Ooh.
she seeing shit now?
She saw something. Did she see something at the fucking party? No, Hannah saw something behind her at the fucking party.
Maybe Becca saw something later, though, or
maybe
today, who
Yeah.
knows?
Whatever
we haven't
this
really
is,
checked in with her
someone
since the
has
party.
got to look into
so.
it.
Yeah.
Everything about this screams shady.
Yeah, no shit.
Are you sure you even have the time? Ain't you busy with your current case?
I got taken off that one.
Ooh.
You didn't say you were taken off your case.
I just got the news this morning. Apparently the higher-ups think I'm doing a horrendous job at it.
I mean, look at your
Probably
parka.
because I know, right? Fucking in your stupid fucking wallet chain.
Yeah.
But it's probably because he was like, it's the rights, and they're like, no. It's never the rights. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, though. If these two cases are connected like I initially thought, then regardless, I'm on the right track.
Connected's a strong word.
Are you sure
Well,
we should even be
but-
doing this?
Who knows?
Doing what exactly?
There's someplace we'll visit after this.
Too vague for
No!
comfort, Ash.
No.
No, we're not
Please don't
going to
tell
that
me
fucking
you're bringing her
mansion!
with
That's
you.
where that thing lives!
His affirmation comes in the form of a stare, but that alone says all I need to know. What I pointed out gives him a pause, though, and his voice is thick with hesitation when he addresses Isabella.
You know what? Zach's right, Isabella. You don't have to come with me.
Okay, so here's the problem. We don't want to bring Isabella to the death house unless we bring her as, like, sacrifice bait. Alternatively, we also don't want to leave her by herself because then she gets stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt that we would be able to like over up as a sacrifice or something. Or that could be written. We're only on chapter 3. There's 7, so
we got lots. We got a couple
It's not
bodies
gonna
so
end
far.
the
We got
game.
but we got a couple bodies so far. We can get more.
I'll just do this myself, if it'll get you into more trouble with your superiors. At least I can make up an excuse why I need to be there.
Yeah, they're going to the creepy house.
Don't be ridiculous. You're
Nobody's
not walking
going
in there
alone. We're
without
going as
me.
a solid group.
Besides, I
We're
think it's a
saying
little
back to
too late
back. We're
back
gonna
out
get
now.
flashlights. Not gonna fucking split up
Have you
ever.
seen the news this morning?
I haven't, actually.
Oh, no.
Mama called, and I was busy.
Oh no, was her dad doing?
The change in the air around her, while small, cannot have gone unnoticed, and it takes every willpower not to ask. Probably the only thing reigning in my curiosity is the fact that Ash himself hasn't brought it up either.
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Man burned after room catches on fire. Who the fuck is that? He grabs the remote and cycles through numerous channels until he gets to a news report about another guy who has been found dead in the early hours of the morning today. Burned alive this time. Oddly, no fire has spread, and whatever damage has been contained within the place the body was found.
Incredibly fucking strange, isn't it?
The room itself, however, has been completely vandalized. Help me. Help me. Help me. Another murder, the authorities claimed. Isabella and
Blood,
I
is that
knew...
really vandalism?
Isabella and I
Yes.
knew better. None of us shifts even after the report ends, but the room has suddenly felt stifling. Ashton's eyes have gone hooded with what appears to be restrained anger, and the remote in his hand creaks mildly under his grip. The stone is back in my stomach. A tiny little thing gripping at my insides, growing with every passing second as the dread sinks in. In the thick of it, Isabella's voice is the one that breaks the hush. A small, weak thing on its own that wavers unevenly between words, but every syllable heavy with meaning.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
But we needed the story to happen, so that's the dumb bitch card that I'm like, you had to play it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she would have left and game over.
Yeah.
End of that.
Yeah. When it fades, all that's left in the air is her doubt and fear, while all we can do is to cope. Is there something
We
I
can
can
still
say?
fix this.
Yeah?
We can still fix this. We're not we need to stay positive and be hopeful, because if once she starts giving up, once everybody gives up, you're fucked.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here.
Yay, positives. Also,
Yeah.
Jesus, Isabella's almost capped.
I mean, we've been there for been really nice, and we didn't have to fucking scream sense into her, so.
Yeah.
4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this.
She lifts her gaze at me.
Monitor, though.
She lifts her gaze at me, eyes steady and shoulders squared, as she holds it against the baffled look I
But
give
like,
her.
she saw the letter with all of us, so if it's gonna start affecting us all.
Yeah, like, it's too late.
already in it.
Yeah, she's already
Yeah.
in this. Like, yeah. Although in the next second, it immediately softens, and it takes me by surprise nevertheless. In those brief moments, it's like I faced a different person.
I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
It's too late for that.
I already said it.
This
That's
shit, so I'm in
completely
it.
out of the question. Stop asking.
Jesus.
No, that's
Still
fair.
in all,
If
that's
she
two
tries
extra
to
heads
just
who
do
can
this
do
on
the
her own,
thinking.
she's gonna just die.
Between us 3, I'm sure we'll figure something out pretty soon.
Don't make this whole thing sound like it's a piece of cake to deal with.
I'm not, but I'm trying to stay
Better than
positive.
sitting around, yeah. Plan is still a plan.
You're going to shoot yourself in the foot one day with that kind of thinking. We don't even know who's doing this.
What? No.
Yeah, it's not, like, an unfair assessment.
I know. Sometimes you need to not be so gung-ho, but like...
Yeah.
The last 2 murders might just be similar incidents done by 2 different suspects.
Possible,
but
but
I highly
unlikely.
fucking doubt it.
What
being
about
that
the
Lex
magic
was
fire? What about the magic fire that didn't spread out of the fucking room?
Right?
Hasn't stopped you from going after them before. Remember that time when you...
Okay, stop right there. There will be no retelling of that incident today, Z-Man. Or ever.
Quit calling me Z-Man. No.
Keep calling me Z-Man and maybe I will.
Suddenly, Isabella laughs. Though muffled by her hands, it rings light and easy against the thick tension in the room. Still a far cry from the usual cheer she carries, but brings a welcome shift in the otherwise dreary mood.
Thanks, you two.
I'll tell you about it when he's not around.
Give it up, Z-Man. She's not interested.
Who says I'm not?
Shut up, Ash.
Ash makes a face, but chuckles at the jest despite himself.
Why am I even friends with you two?
why are you friends with us?
You know, why are we friends with you, you fucking wallet chain wearer? Get the hell out.
And like
Button up your fucking shirt.
Yeah. And like this, most of our worries ebb away, if only for a few moments. They take their leave mere minutes close to sundown. But regardless of the lighter mood, little has been said of their plans, only vague hints of what they're aiming to do after.
They're gonna go to the fucking mansion.
Yeah.
Seems like a terrible idea.
While it ain't any my business to know, something about this whole thing still gnaws at me.
Many things.
A tiny passing thought urges me to do something as well. At this hour, the streets are once again busy with people heading home after a hard day's work. Little of this bustle matters to them as they step out the crowded walkway, however. Ash especially. There's only his goal in his mind, and I'd wager there's nothing I can do to stop him at this point. He's probably decided on it long before they made the decision to drop by. But despite this, Isabella lags behind. A worried crease is back on her forehead as she watches Ash leave to get his car.
Something wrong, Bella?
No, actually, can you check on Becca for me after this? I really didn't get the chance to tell her where I'm headed off to. Tell her I'm okay, and we're... No, just that. That's all.
Someone call the cops. Don't call the cops. Ash is the cops, and look at how fucking competent he's being.
Yeah, right? We already
Took
have
him
our
this
token.
fucking long.
Yeah.
Fucking scream at him in a public restaurant.
We already have fucking Detective and Inspector Disbeliever, so we don't need another one.
You sure I should skip on that part? If she finds out about this, she'll be angry. I don't really want to deal with angry Rebecca. It gives me a stomachache just thinking about it.
Neither do I, but I'll handle it if she gets mad. Just make sure she's safe and tell her to be careful. You too.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Almost abruptly, she pauses, the gaze in her eyes hardening as she lapses into another one of those long, distant silences from earlier. This ain't just because of the whole fiasco with the letter anymore.
I don't want what happened to Rose to happen to you guys as well.
I don't either, especially not Zach.
This one cut deeper. Before I can ask about it, Ashton returns, casually swinging his car keys on one hand and gestures at Isabella.
Come on, we don't have much time. Shirley's waiting.
Whose shirt? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Don't answer that. I don't want to hear it, you huge dork.
Says the person who gave her stuffed toys names. Batcat? Really?
It's
Until you
cute.
get that fucking
Yours
chain
is
wad
just
off your
weird.
belt, shut the fuck up, Ash.
I'll see you later, Zach.
She spares me another smile, and as I watch her walk off, only now did it occur to me that none of those she gave today ever did reach her eyes. I make a grab for the back of Ash's parka. He staggers briefly before correcting himself and shooting me a confused stare.
Is she alright?
What? Who's okay?
Isabella.
What?
She's been, I don't know, out of it today? Did something happen earlier?
The scowl on his face says it all.
She's actually been like that this morning. I'll ask, but...
Just do me a favor and watch over her. We have no idea what we're dealing with.
Correct.
I don't know what happened to her since the last time I saw her, but from how she's been doing today, whatever it is,
I think
seems
it's
like a
also
pretty
her,
big deal.
because she said she talked to her mom, so my guess is her dad's treatment maybe isn't going as well. I don't think he's
Yeah.
died because she would be, I feel, a bigger mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably
Wait,
doesn't
you
look
didn't
good.
annoy her again, did you? Because I swear to God, if you did, you've got another thing coming for you.
I think right now he's trying not to do that too much, because Jesus, it'd be real shitty for him too. More than usual, because she's
No,
already...
Why would I?
I mean...
Also, he's
oh, we're
oblivious, so there's
Right,
that.
he's like, Ash.
Fucking Ash.
Just so
Right.
you know, I already apologized for the one at the movie house. Granted,
Yes, I got her
she
ice
deserved
cream.
more of an apology, but I meant
Yep.
it that time.
You meant it that time. That's good.
Yeah, A+.
I'm just asking. I'll take your word for it. But if you can find out what's bothering her, that'd be nice. Honestly, I don't think it's the letter this time.
I'll see
It's
what I
not.
can do.
Make sure you keep yourself out of harm's way, alright?
Yeah, you too. Don't do anything reckless again.
Reckless, no. But I can't make you the promise I won't do anything. After seeing that, there's no way in hell I'm going to pretend there ain't a problem when there is. This is a really big one, and I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you guys while I sit here. I'm done running when things get tough.
He's about to argue for a moment, but...
Look, bro, if things ain't good, I'll be the first one out.
You fucking
Yes.
better be.
But allow me
100%.
this one thing, alright? Just this one time. If it doesn't work out, you'll be the first one to know. You can laugh then, or berate me all you want. But please don't ask me to step aside like I'm incapable of doing anything to help.
I have no idea if it's the look on my face or the tone of my voice. Ultimately, although his mouth presses into a thin line, he nods.
All right, stay safe, Zach.
What was that arm thing?
Yeah, When he stumbles into the sidewalk and allows the afternoon crowd to swallow him whole, I like to think the tiny gleam in his eye is the closest we can get to optimism in this situation.
Wait, isn't he supposed to get into his car? Was she just fucking leaving Isabella in the car?
I have no idea what the fuck that chain of events was. Whether that alone will be enough to give me a peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said. Furthest into the future.
Right? Okay. And we're only going to be doing this for like another 15 minutes because Fizzle, you said we got to wrap it up at 4:30?
Yeah, 4:30, 4:45, somewhere in there, yeah.
You're like, no, I'm into this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just when we need to stop, let him know, and we'll just save it because we can save whatever. All right.
Sure.
Actually, let's also just throw a save up there just in case. Because a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
All right, night falls, and despite my best attempts, sleep continues to elude me. With her image still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard. With Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was.
We haven't missed the Spooky Mansion visit. We didn't go.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. And the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach, it's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off even for a little while. I'm okay with him not going to that mansion ever again.
Yeah.
If possible. Mm-hmm. It is not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 2:45 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for no other reason than just to pass time. If I'm going to be honest, it's not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake tonight, but the anxiety and the hope I'll hear from Ash or Isabella soon. I don't like that there's a lot of empty space.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of empty space for what's going on right now.
I don't like... And for what's perhaps the 42nd time, I shift over to the end table where my phone lies still. I've not heard from them since they left. That's probably not good. They haven't promised to call, of course, but a small part of me wishes they would have the common sense at the very least. Seriously! Waiting is a tough game, with the concern stretching out the minutes far longer than usual. It's impossible for more unpleasant thoughts to not enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help when the clock finally strikes 3. No! My hand stills. It will be a complete and utter lie to say that my heart didn't leap straight in my throat in that brief second. My whole body has gone motionless, ears straining for any further sounds. A couple of tense seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how old the building I'm staying in, power fluctuations ain't anything new. Every now and then this would happen, leaving a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years of living here. But this time, the sudden hush brings with it a stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck, set my heart beating hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air, and in an instant this place is no longer a home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow and keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and begin gathering together the rest of my things scattered about the table.
Oh, fucking leave.
Yes! The camera's body, lens, filters, diffuser phone, anything my hand can reach, but in the resulting panic, like in nightmares, it's the scent that reaches me first, a foul, putrid smell filling my lungs with the heavy stink of death. My fingers clamp tightly to the camera, holding it closer to my body as if the tiny thing would provide enough protection to whatever is with me in the room. It won't. But it's the only comfort I have. What? And knowing that whoever she is, she had once been human. Perhaps not all of it is gone. Perhaps some of it is still there.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me, a soft scuttling over the walls, followed by the squelch and painful creaking of what can only be rotted flesh and broken bones. Ugh. Without hesitation, I whirl around, my fingers and camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
I can help you. Whatever it is that keeps you here, I can help. That's what the letter's for, ain't it? You don't have to keep taking people's lives!
Seriously.
Mm.
Oh, he did it! In the game! There's a brief moment of silence after, and for a short while, I think my pleas worked. Oh no. Then with no warning, the shuffling resumes. And along with it are the sobs of a woman. That sounds like... Hannah.
That sounds like Hannah.
Mm. Oh,
use
like
mouse.
this?
What? Oh, I get it. I can't see shit, though.
That's the point.
We saved recently, so...
I don't know what we're looking for.
This is going to be one of those things where I have to redo the minigame.
Maybe? The light flashes fleetingly one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque, misshapen features before it is once again lost in the darkness. All of a sudden, her tune changes. No longer a soft cry, but a high-pitched shriek, brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I've mustered flees from my body at the sound, and the next thing I know, my hand is gripping the knob and I'm wrenching the door open. Good fucking run! Don't look back! Her wheels follow me as I flee into the night. Pacing has always been more of Ashton's thing than mine. When I want to think, I sit and let the minutes tick by until an idea comes to mind, or my pulse settles down. And yet, dried leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass at them. Terror is too mild to describe what this is. Oh god, are they still at the mansion? There's no way in hell I'm going back. No, do not! No. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw that letter, she's been after us.
But I can't run. Not this time.
No.
Metaphorically, but don't go back to that apartment.
Yeah.
Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Fucking try Isabella.
Try Rebecca.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
So always kept her phone line open in case other people's need her. Go to the relationship tab. Real quick. Okay, so Rebecca's story. So Marianne is who we play next, and then Rebecca. Okay, I'm like, what the... Okay, just a second. It does not help that Ash hasn't said a word where he went off to as well. You know where they went!
Yeah, it's not a big fucking mystery.
Come on!
I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
Probably, but like, use your head, but don't... Knowing him, he could be anywhere. But there's really only one place he'd likely be at this time. Yep, precisely. The sun has already peaked over the horizon when I make it to the mansion. Wait, it's technically a new day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can go.
I have no idea what I'm expecting to see when I got here. There's Ashton, first and foremost. Part of me wishes my assumptions are correct and he's really somewhere close by on a stakeout. But I've never been the lucky sort when it comes to that kind of guessing.
Oh.
And even after I've made a round in the immediate vicinity, I can find neither hide nor hair of him. Calling him does no good either, considering how awful the signal here is.
Somebody build a fucking cell tower down the road, please.
He can't be too far if he's really here, but if he is, he would have already noticed me by now.
Unless he's inside trapped.
Instead, there is only silence. The kind too quiet to find any sort of comfort in. Even the trees seem to have fallen asleep with the rest of the mansion, oblivious to what's happening around it, a small island of stillness in the otherwise fast-paced world. No wonder the whole of Anselm feels at odds with the rest of Luxborn. While the city is alive, growing every minute, breathing every second, and pulsating with life, the village remains unmoving, unchanged. It's not surprising the legend still lives up to this day and why she's still here, walking its hallowed halls. And beyond me, the mansion looms ominously. But now ain't the time for fear. Even if Ash is not here, I've still got to let the Wrights know what I've seen, what's in their home. And whatever grievance Ash has with them doesn't matter. There might be grounds for imprisonment, but they don't deserve a brutal death at the hands of one malicious spirit. And I'm sure Isabella wouldn't want the same thing. I head straight for their door without a second thought. It takes a few rings, the sound loud above the foreboding stillness before I hear footsteps on the other side.
God and Bennett, only a Nazi would knock at such an ungodly hour.
Oh, good. The guy we didn't want to warn.
I mean, Hannah's possessed, so...
Johannes is gone.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Oh. That's an interesting silhouette. Before long, the door swings widely open, with Mr. Luke Wright standing behind it. Seething would be a complete understatement to describe him. Like this, I've got no doubt why Ash would find him a suspect.
You?
Yeah.
How the hell did you get in here? What in 7 hells do you want? It's bloody 6 in the morning.
Your wife is evil? No.
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time. Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't. Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep. Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
Before I can get a word in, he slams the door to my face and bolts it shut with much finality.
Wait, sir, you gotta hear me out. You're both in danger if you stay in there. Have you seen the news lately? Everything's not a coincidence.
Only silence answers me. Maybe if it was Ms. Wright.
Maybe if she wasn't fucking possessed.
Oh, who am I kidding? There are limits to how far a person will believe in you. Then again, I didn't believe Isabella when she warned us. And now I'm here, desperately trying to save people, even if I'm aware it's completely out of my own capacity to do so. Is this what they call karma? If so, this is one horrible way of turning things around.
That's...
Taking people's lives, playing with people's fears, making them feel useless.
You're around, ain't you? You here? Inside this house? Listening, watching, or whatever it is that you spirits do? What did they do
now
to
you sound crazy.
I can help you, you know? If it'll let you move on, I'll gladly do so.
No.
You don't have to kill anyone.
Nothing. I don't even know who I'm talking to, or if a sane person is supposed to be doing that. The only thing I got after is a feeling of foolishness washing over me. Or perhaps this is just me losing my mind. Out of other options and any other ideas, I let my hands slide off the door's surface and fall listlessly to my sides. I can go back to Luxburn, try to find the others, try to get out of this mess with them, or let them know how much in deep shit we all are. Both sound good. Either way, my loitering here ain't helping at all. I let the quietness calm me for a few more minutes before standing up and heading out to fetch my bike. It's quite a distance to Luxburn, but if I hurry, I'll reach it in maybe... The rustling stops as soon as I turn around and strain my ears for any other movement around me.
Yo, Ash, you there?
No answer. If he is here, and I've just missed him earlier, already my feet are moving in search of him for the second time.
Get out!
It won't hurt to double check. Triple check even.
If he saw you, he would have been like...
With how big the property is, he can be anywhere.
Oh.
If things ain't so urgent, if they ain't so dire that lives are at stake, I'd probably have just waited for him to show up again.
Damn it! He needs to realize what exactly it is he's dealing with.
That it is not just a petty criminal he can simply throw in jail. That it is something beyond the authority his police badge could ever give him.
Yep.
The guy needs to stop playing the big damn hero, sit down, and chill. My breathing comes in short, shallow rasps by the time I make it back to where I started. Still no sign of him, and I'm beginning to think I'm just wasting my time here. But that's when I hear it. I'd recognize the melody in a heartbeat. Ma's favorite song. I listen for a while, trying to gauge where exactly from the house it's coming from. My feet starts moving before I can stop them.
No.
And there, as I circle a corner, from a room in the first floor.
No.
A single window is open, but I can't make out whoever's inside. However,
well then,
I'm sure the singing comes from there.
Don't go out through the window.
Why I'll hear an old tune here of all places, I won't know. It's not an obscure song, by all means, but it is pretty rare to find someone who knows this. And for some reason, death seems to follow this song around.
Then leave. What?
Panic lodges itself at the base of my throat at once. Whoever's humming might be. I don't want to be the pessimist now, but on the off chance that it is Ms. Wright...
Shit.
I mean, but she's probably already dead. No.
I shouldn't just barge in there. I can put myself in danger before I can save anyone. Ash will tell me so in the exact same words. Might even write me a dissertation why that's a bad idea if he ain't so lazy. But damn it, god damn it. Okay,
Keep looking for Ash. We are not entering the window. It just sounds dumb.
So...
We know that this thing can mimic voices.
Yes.
Like, we've heard it, so I feel like that scream probably wasn't actually Hannah.
Now I can hear the crying in the background. Now, when we tried to kill Hannah, it was by confronting the thing, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to try confronting again, or do we want to get?
Because at the time, like, it was a dream and she was fine, and apparently she couldn't die in that choice. Otherwise, she probably would have.
Right. In the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The half that has spent too much time around Ash. It's right, though, the reasonable part. If I do force my way in and find something unpleasant, how am I going to fight back? With my camera? No matter where you look at it, that's simply asking for a painful death.
I have a better chance if I find Ash. What is he stupid about?
Perhaps I should try the forest, make a round farther into the gardens. Not a sound plan, but it's better than nothing. The women's soft sobs have subsided now by some means.
Yeah.
Almost inaudible, to the point where I'm wondering if I truly heard what I heard. I didn't get to dwell much on it, though, because right in that moment, my phone rings. The sharp notes cutting, piercing through the thick quietude. I clamp a hand over it, pressing the button before the speakers are close to my ear.
Are you?
I only caught the tail end of the person's greeting on the other side, but I know the voice well enough.
What was that, Ash? Could you repeat that? Signal shitty here.
I asked, where are you? Hell, Zach, I've been calling your number for a good 20 minutes now. What kind of shithole did you get into?
Good morning to you, too. I should be asking you that question. I've been looking all over the mansion for you. I thought you'd be...
What mansion?
Do I really need to answer that?
Why are you even... No, wait. Just get your ass here at Isabella's place, and hurry.
I shift my gaze into the mansion, specifically at the window I heard the cries from. There's nothing of it now, not even echoes.
How urgent is this?
Pressing enough for you to stop asking questions and get yourself here. Please.
I agree. Let us leave this place.
That gives me a pause. It's a rare thing for him to take on that tone.
I'll be there in a few. An hour or two, tops.
Thanks.
I gotta ride my bike.
I rush back to my bike as soon as the call ends. Without another look, I leave the mansion along with its haunting melodies and grim echoes behind.
Oh, it's guaranteed if we would have went inside, we'd be dead.
Either we'd be dead or we would have saved Hannah, maybe. One of the two. Possibly both?
I'm fine with this.
Yeah. No, I'm perfectly fine with this result. There are more important things than my own curiosity and impulses.
Okay.
And that... Alright, Zach lived through his chapter.
Okay.
Okay. We did good. We're fine.
What is that painting on the wall?
Peak anime. I don't know.
Yep.
Okay. I said I wanted to end around 4:30ish. It's now 4:30ish.
This is a good time.
This is a good time.
This is a good time to end, I think.
Yeah.
Do the... Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. There's tons of slots.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Right, so a lot more shit happened, and it's feeling more like a horror game, which is great.
So, Marianne...
Such a sassy stance.
So, Marianne hates the fuck out of Isabella, loves Hannah, doesn't know Zach or Ashton or Rebecca, and is weirdly on good terms with Luke. Yeah, all right.
I mean, remember Isabella's conversation with, and you're just like, oh my god. So I think it's entirely fair.
So, yeah, our Zachary chapter...
Why does it say 0%?
I don't know.
What is that percent?
Maybe that's a bug.
I don't know. Maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know.
So we skipped a whole fuckload early on, and it was from previous content. It was from previous decisions. Yeah, tell the truth. You should stay. There was nothing big from that I can determine.
Yeah.
Question, tell Ash. Yeah, we told
Yeah,
Ash.
the biggest was we didn't go to Hannah. Which
we skipped all that Hannah shit, but then we did some of this Ash shit.
Yeah.
And then we get to question. That's not the point here, where the angry things happened.
But I think that's what finally got him to do what he needed to do.
Yeah. Story update. No, that's all just regular old shit.
Yeah.
Until we get to here. Here's a big pivot where we did the interesting shit. But bypassed a lot of interesting shit as well.
Yeah.
Quick time event would have led to death, so I mean,
yeah,
we bypassed that luckily. And whoa.
That's why we didn't go into that fucking house.
Question. Keep looking for Ash.
Yeah, I feel like that.
There were multiple possibilities there.
There was like a secret third one that we didn't have.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
It must have been something we did earlier than
that would have led somewhere.
That option out.
That would have led somewhere into this, and I have to assume that one of these is Zach permadies.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
Shit.
Okay. I know there's so many things that you can't do in one playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, we made a lot of progress. I'm excited to see where this is going to go the next time we're streaming.
Yes.
Possibly this weekend or next week. We will get that figured out.
One day next weekend. Saturday next weekend, if you're good with that.
Should be free then, so that sounds good.
Sweet.
God, things are getting crazy. There was some shit that showed up with the professor slightly. That is definitely something that needs to be expanded upon at some point, because what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Isabella's family might have some stuff. Hopefully her dad, I don't think he's dead, but that doesn't sound like it's going great, so that's not good.
Yeah.
Rebecca's had some stuff happen. None of that's been mentioned. I'm sure we're going to get some of that in her part where it'll go back and show things.
Yeah.
So nobody died, except for that guy on the news who doesn't matter because we didn't even know his name.
Yeah.
So I would call this a success. You didn't even feel any quick time events, the ones that we had.
Yeah.
So,
even though I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Okay. Well, thank you all for watching.
Yep.
And I'll see y'all next time.
Yep. And hopefully we will continue to not let Zach die. That's my goal. Even though you were really kind of maybe we should go in the window, even though I'm almost positive. Just like Until Dawn. Don't. Seems like a trap. Probably a trap, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's possessed as shit, at the very least, so.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Well, thanks, everybody. Bye!